Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of True Picks, where we talk about everything that happens in the NFL season. It's early on in the season, but there's a lot of different things that are happening. A lot of different teams jockeying for position. May seem early, but already 20%. We're on week 4. It's an incredible speed with which the season starts going after it gets started, and we're here to get started talking about week 4. And of course, when I say we, I'm talking about myself. I'm talking about Chase Oliver. Sir, how are you doing this afternoon, since we're coming to everybody in the afternoon on Wednesday?
I feel great, John. Who's got it better than us?
All right,
Who's
stop.
got it better than us? Nobody. I mean, we just come on here when we can, just give you guys great predictions, great football talk, great thoughts. I mean, hey, who's got it better than us, man? Hey, give everyone a high five around you right now.
That game pissed me off so much.
Yeah, I won't blame you.
Because you
I
know what it is, especially after last week, losing off of basically a foul, like a flag that moves the field goal up, and losing off of 2 field goals. And you'll understand this, and I don't mean this to be insulting in
no,
any
that's
way,
how
shape,
it
or
is.
form, but it reminds me of the Chargers of like maybe 5-8 years ago, where like they didn't know how to close out a game, they
Yeah,
didn't know how to win properly, and so something would ridiculous. It's like where the origination of Chargers gonna Charger comes from,
yeah,
and
chargering,
now it
yeah.
feels like that's Denver, at least for this season so far. And I'm like, it just the idea that if you think about it, off of 2 field goals, Denver would be 3-0 and would have control of the division is just a wild. It's just a wild idea, wild thought process.
Yeah,
But I mean,
that
congratulations to the Chargers for coming back.
Yeah, that's what happened a lot with those Charger games where I felt we were the better team, and then it's just like, nah, we lost the game, and it would piss me off and stuff. That's why I'm so pessimistic. This game, it was like, yeah, Denver felt like the better team, but the Chargers, they just were able to seal the deal when it mattered and won the football game and
Yeah,
stuff. And like honestly, there were some play calls I was just confused by Denver. This is why I've been big on like, hey, let Bo Nix treat Bo Nix like Josh Allen. Let him run, man, because when he runs, it's like it's an added scary element to the game, and I think it's where Bo Nix shines the most too. A couple of deep throws missed. That one to Cortland Sutton that would have definitely
yeah,
got probably leads to Denver winning that game was very impressive. So yeah, no, I can understand your frustration because I've been watching that since I was a kid of like the Chargers looking like they're a better team, and it's cool to see the Chargers win these type of game because this is a game where the Chargers normally would blow. We would lose this
right.
game. I would have been like, damn, this team is not as good as I thought they were and stuff. It was all smoke and mirrors. Of course, we played the Raiders and the Chiefs. They haven't figured anything out. But beating Denver, especially like after Denver got to Herbert, got like 5 sacks on him, did a lot of damage and stuff, looked really, really good. Beating Denver like that makes you feel more confident about the Chargers the rest of the way and stuff. I mean, it's going to still be a tough, people are already, when we talk about the Giants game, they're already writing the Giants off, but I'm telling people like it's not as easy as you think, like so that's what I'm always optimistically pessimistic about the Chargers
Yeah, I
because
mean, to be fair, you guys do get to deal with the debut of Jackson Dart.
mhm,
But let's bring up how we did for week 3. Oh, I definitely took a step back. Normally, I do pretty well on those on the afternoon games, and then the late games is where I struggle. Here, this last week, I did poorly on the early ones too, but yeah, you cleaned up better, far better in that afternoon, the late game slate
yeah,
than I did.
I trusted the home teams the morning slate. I did not expect the Panthers to score the highest amount of points against the Falcons, especially after the way the Falcons
Oh
defense.
my god!
This is sometimes where the NFL is so tricky. It's like the Falcons shut down this what we think is a good Vikings offense. So I'm like, bro, the Panthers offense sucks. There's no way. And the Panthers defense sucks, and the Falcons offense can score on them. And then Michael Penix just regresses and then looks horrible and the Panthers get 2 key turnovers, one for a pick six, so that changes the whole game. The Browns game with the Packers, we talked about it in the predictions. We said, hey, this Browns team is scrappy, and we got to see something from the Packers offense. The Packers defense still is legit, that
Mhm.
Packers offense, there's a lot of question marks right there. There's a lot of question marks that led to the Browns with the upset, and the Patriots. They just beat themselves. They were shooting themselves in the foot. There's sometimes where Drake May looks phenomenal. There's sometimes where Drake May looks bad. And then the Jaguars and Texans, where we both got that one wrong. It was just like, look, I was going on, hey, the Texans can't be this bad. The Jaguars, they haven't really showed me too much. And I guess the Jaguars, they're a pretty legit team in this AFC South. They're a pretty
I
legit
don't know
team.
if you caught the conversation in the sports chat yesterday evening, but we were discussing the Texans, and part of what I was saying was that Stroud does not trust the protection. Even if the protection is there,
Mm-hmm.
he does not trust the protection. And so because of that, he is throwing, like, if you look at the target share,
Yeah.
it's solely Nico Collins at 25 targets, then it's Dalton Schultz at 15 targets, and then it's, these other guys. So it's like if it's not Nico, it's going to the tight end. And I'm looking at this and I'm going, even when Christian Kirk was not there, they could not manufacture targets. Don't forget catches, targets for Higgins and Noel. And I don't know what exactly is the situation with this offense. The thing is that the Texans defense is going to keep them in games. But the
Yeah.
question is, if you're counting on this defense to just never make mistakes and to always get either turnovers, sacks, or just the pressures and force a 3-and-outs or force short drives, that's not a recipe for dedicated, consistent success.
Yeah.
So what they got to do to figure this out, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if this is a situation where just getting Christian Kirk back is going to make that much of a difference because they still lost.
Yeah, I don't know either. The Texans and the Packers are kind of in the same situation. Well, Texans far worse than the Packers. We've seen the Packers offense being able to score touchdowns. The Texans, it's just like they're allergic to the end zone. Like you said, they rely way too much on like the Nico Collins effect, and it's just one of those things where it's like I don't know if you have to sit down with Stroud. I don't know if you have to like change up the playbook. I don't know if you have to change up certain plays or something. I don't know if it's because they're missing like their an actual dominant running back in Joe Mixon. Something has to change in that offense if they want to win because this offense, yeah, it's winning in 2005. Like you can make the Super Bowl with this offense in 2005 and this great defense, but in 2025, it's a different game, man. You can't just rely like teams that rely solely on their defense. Those are the teams that don't really win it all. Like, yeah, you can do well in the playoffs, but you're not going to win it all if that's like your only strength is your defense. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I know everyone say, well, defense wins championships. Yes, defenses win championships with good offenses behind them and stuff. And a good defense will help you make sure the other teams don't score while your team keeps scoring. But if your team can't score, what's it matter at the end of the day? And
Yeah, like even in the
that's
case,
what you're seeing with the Texans. They can't score. Like they literally can't score. They're terrible in the red zone. Whenever they get in the red zone, it's like if they get switched over on NFL red zone, you already know they're kicking a field goal. It's just like one of those things where it's just like you just know it's going to be. It's literally the same place too. It's like they'll do a running play, so that way it's like second and manageable. Then they'll do like a play action or a bootleg, and it's Stroud looking for Nico Collins in the back of the end zone. That doesn't work. Okay, we either do a Nico Collins goal line fade, or we do like a Nico Collins out route, and that's what we'll do. And then they'll do that, and then his second read is Dalton Schultz doing whatever the fuck he's supposed to do, whatever route he's supposed to run. Like that's literally the Texans' offense in the red zone. Like there's no creativity behind it. There's nothing that makes teams scared of it. Literally, there was two guys on Nico Collins every time they're on the red zone because there would be no one else like that CJ Shaw is throwing to for whatever reason. And if you watch some of the all 22, you can see there are people open. It's just either Stroud is not comfortable with that window to throw, or he is specifically just targeting Nico Collins.
yeah, and there's to what you were saying just earlier about defense and championships. Like people can point out that 2015 Denver Broncos and that wins in 2016, but like that was with one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time who still had the brain to be able to diagnose defenses
Yeah,
and know when to change out of plays and do things like that. And CJ Stroud's a great quarterback, but he's not there yet. He's not that level of mental management of the game. So this is I like how you broke that broke that down because that is literally what happens when they get in the red zone.
yeah.
And my question here is, what's going to happen if like, because the thing is, if you're gonna pay CJ Stroud $50 million a year, you want him to be able to overcome these things, these issues. And now it's dating back to part of last year. It's last year and this year now, as more games take place. So I'm hoping that this is a situation where, as Christian Kirk gets into this offense, they're able to use him better, and he opens up things for Higgins and Noel, because they can't rely on just Nico Collins making plays, because they're proving that that's not going to work. Like, we saw that in that playoff game against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But let's see.
Taco Bell's one of them. I do like Taco Bell.
Appreciate that, Con. But let's take a look at what our slate is for week 4. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's do our while we're here. Look at this. So we've got our Tua watch and our Mike Evans watch. Mike Evans to 1,000 yards needs 860. Now he has to average 61, but he's going to be missing the next couple games.
Yeah, we'll have to put like a red X or something for the weeks he misses.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a 0. I'll put a 0 and then just lower the numbers, lower the number for the average. And then there's Tua trying to chug along to get to 4,000. Did I update this? I did. 14 weeks left. So Tua's got to. Let's get into that, because we're gonna be talking about the Dolphins soon enough. But that game with last week, this Buffalo Dolphins game, we both, when we set this up, I said we're going to take care of this easy. I put both of us down for Buffalo, and then I put you down for Chargers and me down for Broncos. The Dolphins almost stole that game, almost.
Yeah.
and I don't know if I was surprised that they almost stole it, or I was just like, yeah, that makes sense for Buffalo. Like, that makes sense that they could let that happen. But did anything about that game change how you felt about Buffalo? Because we know Miami's just kind of like in those doldrums.
No, I just think it was a short week. Buffalo was just playing down to the level of competition and stuff. Like they make the playoff. If Buffalo didn't consistently make the playoffs, I would be concerned. I would be like, hey, this is a team that's supposed to take this next jump. I'm not seeing it because they struggle with the Dolphins. But no, they showed this a lot of times. We watch a lot of Thursday night Bills games. There are those games where they kind of just, slack off. Josh Allen doesn't look like Josh Allen and stuff. So I just think it's like a short week type of thing. They just came in. They're like, oh, the Dolphins are dead on the water. And Mike McDaniels was coaching for his job. Like he decided to, coach up a really good game plan, really good scheme, and did a good job executing and stuff. And like, when you have a coach that's desperate and he's pulling out all the stops to make sure his team can win, and you have Buffalo who's kind of just lackadaisically going into this game knowing that win or lose, because for Buffalo, win or lose, this doesn't hurt them whatsoever. Right. They look at it. They look at this game where it's like, all right, we lost the Thursday night game. We'll kick their asses next time when we play on a Sunday and stuff like that. That's why sometimes with Thursday night games, I always take them with a grain of salt sometimes of how a team performs, because it's like, man, you kind of get dicked over. You play like this Sunday game, and especially you play this Sunday game, and then you have to go ahead and play like a Thursday night game in like 4 days and stuff. It's a tough turnaround. You have to like get your team mindset changed and everything, and especially for the Dolphins, who just look like they're dead on the water. So Mike McDaniels did a great job, coaching up a good game, and Buffalo just didn't take this team seriously. But it doesn't concern me because they're still one of the best teams in the NFL. So
yeah, I think they'll be fine. I think it was just more the idea of part of why they lost, part of why they won was that like last minute Tua mistake. And the question is, like, in a different situation, does a different quarterback not make that mistake? Right. That's the way that
it's literally the same. The problem with Tua is he trusts too much in the system. He doesn't know how to outread the system. It's always like he just throws to where his primary receiver is. Like, he's like the kid in Madden when he's learning Madden for the first time. So if you guys ever played Madden, they have a receiver that has the red route. The red route means that's your primary receiver. And then your yellow route receivers, they're supposed to run their routes to help the red route receiver get open. But sometimes that's not the case. The red route receiver may be covered. So you have to learn who's my second read, who's my third read. And who your second or third read, that's based on you and your experience of playing the game. Tua is literally like the kid learning Madden that says, oh, that's my red route. I got to throw it. and he always believes it's going to happen. In Buffalo, they knew what scheme they were running, and they just pretty much used, I believe, their linebacker to kind of just react to what Tua was doing, and the linebacker pretty much read what Tua was going to do. Just his eyes were where Tua was going to throw, and that's how he got the interception. And it was because Tua was, and if he decided to get off his primary route, he would have had a wide open Tyreek Hill. And I'm not saying Tyreek Hill scores a touchdown, but he was wide open on that play. So Tua has to like sit down and realize like, hey, there's more than my primary route. Like I don't always have to go to the primary. I don't have to go to where Mike McDaniel is saying I need to go. I can go over here and stuff. But
yeah, it is going to be. I'm intrigued to see how Buffalo moves forward out of this, because like they really do just have control of the division at this point. So it's like, to your point about being lackadaisical, will that continue? Will they stay on the ball where they need to be? And so let's take a look at this upcoming week. We start with Thursday Night Football. We start with a divisional matchup. We have the Cardinals hosting the Seahawks, and the Seahawks seem to be getting back on track. Like they haven't made like a lot of noise, but at the same time, they're doing what they need to do, and they are winning some games here and there. So now they come in to take on a Cardinals team that seemingly cannot get out of their own way. It's the easiest way to put it. Now we're having issues where Marvin Harrison is running the routes, but he is either just having concentration drops or I don't even know what. But like some of the tape is indicating that it's now less on Kyler or less on the scheme and starting to be more on Marvin. And the question there is like, can you really have fucked with the confidence of a wide receiver that quickly, to the point that he's now just second guessing himself? And do they need to just do like short, like volume passes to him to get him in the zone? And part of the reason that they're going to need to do that is because James Conner looks like he is done for the season. And if you are a Trey Benson truther, great news for you. If you are a Trey Benson holder in fantasy, whether it's redraft or in your case, sir, dynasty.
Finally, the beast is unleashed. I've been waiting. I've been waiting for the Trey Benson revival. It's
if somebody is a Trey Benson owner, or I hate to use the word owner, but Trey Benson manager, and have him in redraft or dynasty, whatever the case may be, or if you just wanted him to be the lead back, there's a very good chance that he has, like, this is his opportunity to win the starting job, because now he has 13 games or so where he has no interruptions from James Conner. Mm-hmm. And if you look at James Conner's contract, yes, he did re-sign a contract, but he did re-sign last year, but the out is this next offseason. And if they cut him, they lose $2.5 million in dead cap to save $8.5 million in cap space. So like you could use, if you believe that Trey Benson is the guy, and that was one, what you drafted him to be because you knew Conner was getting older, and two, now you have 13 games of opportunities to see Trey Benson be the guy. I'm sure the GM could find a better use for $8.5 million than spending it on James Conner, who would in essence be the backup running back. So now is where you get to start to see what you really have in Trey Benson, and he has looked good the past few weeks for sure. If they wanted to keep him meaning Conner, and use it, case in point, similarly to a K9 and Charbonnet 1A 1B, you now would know that you have that ability. So if you're willing to spend that $8.5 million in cap space to keep Conner, you have a better power punch running back duo, and that takes some pressure off of Kyler and this passing attack, because besides Marvin, they don't really have quality receivers.
Yeah,
really, it's just Trey McBride. So how do you feel about this one?
I like how the Seahawks have been looking. They look good. Darnold's been throwing it. JSN is rising as a number one receiver. Their defense isn't even fully healthy yet, which is scary. So like that defense can click it up to the next level under Mike Macdonald, the head coach, longtime Ravens decor. So I got the Seahawks, man. The Cardinals, they either find ways to win games or they find ways to lose games, and they're not consistent enough, man. Oh man, poor Al Michaels. He has to be awake for this. He's gonna be like, at least he's in Arizona. It's not that far from his house and stuff. But
That's
He has to
true.
listen to Herb Street just ramble. Or you're gonna be like, I remember watching these guys in college, and it's just like, yeah,
Oh yeah, because Ohio State, Marvin.
yeah. Well, also Kyler Murray, Oklahoma,
Mm.
Darnold at USC and stuff. But yeah, I like the Seahawks here. Like
But
Cardinals can win games. So
didn't Kirk Herbstreit go to OSU or something like that, or played for OSU?
yeah, he played for Ohio State.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he's a big like whenever he calls Ohio State games, the bias clearly shows.
But let's turn from the NFC West to the NFC North, visiting the AFC North, the Battle of the Norths, when the Minnesota Vikings come through to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the question there is going to be whether or not JJ McCarthy is going to be back. Now, O'Connell has declined to address whether McCarthy will start over Wentz once healthy, which is an interesting speculation. It's an interesting headline on ESPN. It's an interesting bit of speculation there. But as it stands for right now, it's Carson Wentz who's going to be leading the Vikings attack. And they didn't really need to do that much against the Bengals.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it was the Jake Browning-led Bengals, not the Joe Burrow-led Bengals. But still, it is a Bengals team that has Chase Brown, that has Jamar Chase, that has T. Higgins, Gesicki, Noah Fant. It has pieces there, a lot of pieces on offense. And the Vikings had their way with them. And so the question now is, can that Brian Flores defense continue to do that, playing an away game in Pittsburgh? I think they can. And that's not a knock against Pittsburgh. It's just that right now, Brian Flores' defense looks really damn good. And I don't know if that's just a function of him playing Jake Browning. I don't know if it's a function of the Vikings just being that nasty. But if Carson Wentz can do what KOC needs him to do, which is in essence just be a game manager, this is a Vikings offense that is loaded, because coming back from suspension is my boy, Jordan Addison. And that is going to help, especially if JJ McCarthy comes back. That is going to probably be one of the biggest helps to getting Justin Jefferson going.
Yeah.
Because now you have to account for Addison. Addison has proven the ability to be a wide receiver one and be a dominant alpha wide receiver one. He just slots very well into the wide receiver two role when Jefferson is there. Similar to how T. Higgins can be that one, but he is a great number two to have when you have Jamar Chase. So I'm taking the Vikings. I don't know if the Steelers defense has the... They've been playing well, but they haven't been playing like Steelers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
they're not the steel curtain. Yeah,
right.
This is not the same. Like normally, this would be one of the games. I'm like, you got the Steelers at home. Give me the Steelers easy, because it's like yes, I like the Vikings. I love KOC and everything, but I would say no. You got to go to Heinz Field or whatever they call it now and stuff. You got to play there. Weather's starting to change, but right now the Steelers defense, like especially against the Patriots, like literally the Patriots were shooting themselves in the foot. They were giving the Steelers that game. And the inconsistency with Rodgers, and the Arthur Smith play calling, like that's what really gets me. Because Rodgers, there's some drives where it's like, yep, he's still the same guy. And then there's some where I'm like, yeah, he's kind of washed. And then there was like so many times where they were at the goal line and they were just handing the ball off to Jaylen Warren all this time. And I'm like, dude, like that's not Jaylen Warren, dog. Like flare him out. Yeah, flare him out. Do something different. Like, I don't know. To me, it's just there's too many inconsistency for the Steelers. If they win this game, awesome for them and stuff. Like, I kind of want to choose them, but at the same time, I just think the Vikings are a better team with better talent. So I'm going to go with the Vikings.
Did you see the what was it? Oh God, no, I can't. Why am I not? Did you see that the Pittsburgh Steelers they were talking about bringing up from the practice squad to be more of a punt returner, kick returner guy, but just available Trey Sermon. That and that Caleb Johnson has been healthy scratch. Like, I know he has been playing. I know he's been healthy scratch, but like now to the point that at first we thought Caleb was going to be the RB2, then we're like, okay, so it's Gainwell, so he's going to be the RB3.
If I'm a running back and if I see Kenneth Gainwell on the roster, I'm like, fuck this. I'm not going to that team. This guy seems to always find a way to be the greatest. If we go all like, yeah, like when we look at greatest RB2s of all time, Kenneth Gainwell has to be up there because
it's in his name. Can you fault him?
Yeah, dude, like every team, he's always running back to, and then there's someone that you're like, oh, why isn't he running back to? And then there's Gainwell, and he's just stealing touches from the starter too, and then you're just like, how come this guy's not the starting running back? And then he does something stupid, and you're like, yeah, that's why he's not the starting running back. And then you're just like, remember the Super Bowl, like the first one against the Eagles and the Chiefs? This motherfucker was getting more touches than Miles Sanders. And you're just like, what the fuck is Gainwell in the game for? Miles Sanders is your lead back, and I don't know, it's Gainwell. He just finds a way, bro. Like, yeah, if you're a running back and you're like, yeah, I'm like one of the better running back twos, and you see Gainwell on the roster, don't sign there.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, I mean, well, in the case of Caleb, he didn't have the option; he was drafted. But like, this is a situation where it's like, what is going on with Caleb Johnson to the point that they are willing to consider him a healthy scratch and call up Trey Sermon from the practice squad to be RB3? Like, what is going on with that development? Because to your point, the idea of having a power back at the goal line or in the red zone is a little bit more of the Caleb Johnson style.
This is where
than the Jaylen Warren style.
Yeah, this is where coaching sometimes, like, and I talked about a little bit when Hard Knocks, when McDermott's like, I don't care what your name is and where you're at, you got to fight for this position. This is where coaching sometimes gets in the way, like the coaching ego of like, oh, yeah, Warren's been here longer, he's been our guy, we got to give him the touches, yada yada yada. And so you mistype Caleb Johnson, who is just a pure running back, and then you put him in these kick return, punt return situations in the NFL where I don't know what he did. I don't think he ever did that in Iowa from what I've seen. But like, you're putting him in these situations just because you want to get him reps and you want him to learn something different. And you think, no, he's just a running back. He's not this guy that is going to do it all. And you put him in these bad situations. And so he gets put in the doghouse. It kills his confidence. And then he doesn't become the player that you drafted him to become because you're so stuck in your coaching ways of, oh, well, we got to make sure that, you know, the guy who's been here for us for the longest time that we just signed to a new deal. No, you signed Jaylen Warren to a new deal. You got to sit down and talk with Jaylen Warren. Hey, you are running back one, but when it comes to being in the red zone, we got this Caleb Johnson kid for a reason and stuff. And I'm sure there's touchdown incentives in his contract. He has to get like 5 or 6 touchdowns for an extra $10K or something like that, you know, like, but like, that's the problem sometimes, man. These coaches, they coach and then they put a player in a bad position and they're confused why this player doesn't develop or turns out well. And then said player goes to another team. And then you're saying to yourself, oh, wow, like that guy turned out pretty good. And he was in the Pittsburgh Steelers doing kick returns. Crazy. So.
Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued to see what's going on because we've seen a lot of these rookie running backs. This was supposed to be like the draft class, right, for the rookie running backs, and a lot of them have either not been used well, not had opportunities, or just can't even get on the field. In the case of Caleb Johnson, and we're going to start getting to more of them as
I don't have to worry about that.
What?
I don't have to worry about that.
Well, yeah, not anymore. But actually, I do have an interesting question for you when we get there because I'm sure you know about this. But anyway, let's get to one of the more intriguing games of this weekend, this week 4 slate, if you will.
It's not an afternoon game. Fuck
the
off.
Eagles coming to the Buccaneers. My goodness, you have the Buccaneers who have been flying high, who have been, you know, fighting. You know, if anybody's got that dog in him, it's Baker Mayfield, who just hates Baker Mayfield finds a way, finds some excuse to hate somebody on the other team, whether it's a player, whether it's a coach, whether it's part of the staff, whether it's a ball boy, whether it's somebody who passes out the Gatorade, whether it's a cheerleader, doesn't matter. He finds somebody to hate on that team, and then he's just like, that's why I have to kill them.
No, I bet you he's like to Jalen Hurts. You know, I'm kind of mad he ruined Oklahoma's streak of winning the Heisman. It was me and Kyler, and then he came and he ruined it. He ruined it for Coach Riley. Like, you know, he's probably pissed at that.
I mean, would I blame him? No, I wouldn't. But this is a offense that has been moving the ball very well. But part of the reason why is because old, reliable Mike Evans is there. But Mike Evans now appears to have picked up a hamstring injury, which Mike Evans tends to do at this stage of his career. Lest we forget, that's what happened last year. And he still did hit 1,000 yards, but it did require Baker to force feed him the ball to the point of ignoring other wide receivers. Now, luckily, the hamstring injury happened early in the season versus last year when it happened a little bit later, giving them less time. So hopefully it will not be as bad when Mike does return. But with Mike being out, that definitely puts a lot of pressure on your boy, my boy, our boy, our pick for Offensive Rookie of the Year, Emeka Egbuka.
Our number one overall pick and just general, Emeka Egbuka. Like we Bucky Irving had like that fan base last year. That's us. We're the Egbuka fan base lovers. We've been on the Egbuka train since the draft. We've been on
which I will have you know. I looked at it this morning, or I looked at it today before while I was setting up everything. Guess what? Guess who's now the odds-on favorite for Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Egbuka.
Emeka Egbuka plus 360.
I think the only person that can challenge him right now, or just two people that can challenge him, is Hampton and Warren.
So Tyler Warren is plus 550. And then Omari and Hampton is plus 650.
Yeah, the reason why I say that is because, look, a lot's going to go on Emeka Egbuka's shoulders. He's going to have to catch the ball a lot, even when Godwin does come back healthy.
Well, Godwin's supposed to be back this week. He could be back this week, as early as.
He's not going to get a lot of snaps, I don't think. I think they'll probably work him in and stuff. Not the best team to work him in with, but he'll work in and stuff. But yeah, that's the thing. When you have someone like Emeka Egbuka, it's like, he has a chance, but it's just the problem with the receivers. They got to get the catches, they got to get the touchdowns. Hampton, it just seems like, after his breakout game against the Broncos, where it's like, oh, okay, like one of the knocks with Hampton was like, can he catch the ball? And he did. He did well catching the ball, and you can see the burst, you can see the speed. So he's going to have receiving stats too. And if the Chargers start giving him touchdowns, that will hurt him. And then Tyler Warren, he's just a physical
sneaky
freak.
option though. Sneaky option. They do have, if Hampton's plus 650, they also have it plus 650. None other than Jackson Dart.
Dart is a sneaky option. Quarterbacks do get beloved a little bit more. I think with Dart, his Rookie of the Year push will come later in the season. I feel like the first few games is going to be rough for Dart, NFL speed, everything like that. But when it comes to, if he gets like the touchdowns, like as long as he gets like 25 touchdowns and stuff, he might steal it, even if he has a rough start and whatnot. But
and I don't know if this is disrespect to your boy or what, but I'll let you decide. Josh Allen is plus 170 for MVP. Then Lamar is plus 320, and then Justin Herbert Beer is plus 500.
No, that's right. Even though Lamar had a rough Monday night game and stuff, like Herbert is having a great first stretch. He has one of the best touchdown throws you'll see this season. Where I'm so glad Kevin Harlan I love any Charger game with Kevin Harlan, even for getting our asses kicked. He just makes it so much fun and stuff. When he goes, touchdown, Allen, how did he get that? I was like, oh my! I was just hyped just by Harlan making the call. No. I think that's properly correct. I mean, if Herbert keeps putting up the stats, then yeah, he will definitely reach up to the MVP. But it's still early in the season. It's only been like 3 games. I think Allen should be still the favorite until like he has like a stinker. Lamar, like he will always be up there just because, for every bad game, like first of all, he didn't besides getting sacked 7 times, it's not like he played horrible against the Lions. He did well. He did well enough to, get his stats up there. But he always will have the running to help him out, boost up his credibility. And a lot of times when you look at the Ravens wins and you say, oh, why did the Ravens win that game? Oh, it's because of Lamar. While with Herbert, you can make an argument they won that game because of the defense and because of Dicker the kicker. In fact, I'm more upset Dicker the kicker, the most accurate kicker in NFL history, he's not even being considered for MVP. It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, he's just doing everything.
They should have a most valuable special teams.
I'll be so upset if this year, if Dicker the kicker does not get All Pro. Like I think I'll be more upset if Dicker the kicker does not get All Pro than anything else in the season because he for the last 3 years has been phenomenal. Last year I felt he got kind of screwed. I felt he should have made all pro, especially when he made that free kick. I was like, bro, who makes a free kick against your Broncos, by the way? We remember Thursday night. That was a game Sean Payton wanted to, by the way, your coach.
Yeah.
Just have to remind that. But yeah, Dicker the kicker, he is the most disrespected kicker in the NFL in terms of the media. Like, fans love him, NFL people, they respect him. But for whatever reason, man, my dog, Dicker the kicker, just gets disrespected. The most accurate kicker in NFL history.
I mean, Baker Mayfield's going to be mad at us for not talking about the Buccaneers and the Eagles.
I mean, this should be a good game.
It's like, to me, it's almost a toss-up. It's weirdly a toss-up game because I can see the Buccaneers finding a way to pull out a win.
They showed it this whole 3 weeks. Every 3 weeks, this past 3 weeks, we've seen the Buccaneers find ways to win games, and that's very impressive. Like, I know people are gonna be like, they shouldn't have struggled against the Texans, they shouldn't have struggled against the Jets, but hey, you know what? At the end of the day, did they not win those games? Yes, they won those games. That's like the main thing. Did you win the game? And we talked about this. Remember, we were talking about like quarterbacks that we trust in a 2-minute drill, and I said I trust Baker more than like certain quarterbacks. It's like I feel vindicated in that because anytime the Buccaneers are down, I'm like, I think they got this. But yeah, this is a tough game. But I just think with that offensive line for the Buccaneers, they're so depleted, they're so beat up. Is Tristan Wirfs going to play this week? Is he going to try to play? Like, this is it. And do you want him to play if he's not 100% against a ferocious Eagles defensive line? Like, I don't know.
To me, this game turns on the fact that Mike Evans isn't going to be there. If Evans was going to be there, then I have faith and believe that Baker, through sheer force of will and hatred, would be able to find a way to win this game. My problem is without Evans, he's mainly throwing to Mika Egbuka because he's going to trust Sterling Shepard way more than he needs to be trusted.
That's his old teammate, of course.
I don't give a shit if that's his old teammate. The point is, you throw the ball to the best player you got.
Yeah, and Sterling Shepard is one of the best players he's got.
On the 2-minute drills is what I'm saying. That's where you're trying to get the ball to Egbuka as much as possible. The rest of the game, sure, but my problem with Baker is he'll throw to Sterling Shepard on like 3rd and 4 when it's like you just need 4 yards. Why would you be trusting this to Sterling Shepard? Trust somebody else. Like, you have a tight end for a reason. Like, you have Kate on for a reason. You have Culp for a reason. Like, use those guys. You have Bucky Irving. Use him. And when he's like, according to you, I used to play with Sterling Shepard. Get the ball to him. I'm taking the Eagles because I believe the Eagles can choke enough clock out of this game to make it just not enough time for the Buccaneers to make their comeback. I will say it is nice to see Jalen Hurts throwing the ball again to A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. Yeah. Just every once in a while, he's got to be like, "Hey guys, I can still do it." I can do it. I don't need to, but I don't want to. But I can.
Vintage Floyd Mayweather. He can knock someone out if he needs to. That's why I call him the Floyd Mayweather of football right now. You will hate them. You'll get annoyed how they play. You'll be frustrated with them, but they find ways to win games. I'm going with the Eagles too. I think they'll win this game. Buccaneers will keep it close. Maybe a vintage Baker 2-minute drive or something. I won't be surprised if the Buccaneers win this game. But the offensive line not being 100%, the Eagles showing that grit and toughness against a really good Rams team and being able to come back and win that game and stuff. I like the Eagles in this situation. Just put Bills.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, I asked you before we started, before we came on here, did you see the line? And you said no. And I was like, oh, wait till you see it.
Yeah. This Saints team is pathetic. I think everything's caught up with them in terms of salary cap and all this other BS and whatnot. Yeah, so they kept the window open way too long, and they never found the right pieces to make it. So
well. They thought they did. They thought Derek Carr was going to move them to the promised land.
This is more like, will the Bills be up and at them in the beginning, or will they turn it on in the second half? That's what you're looking for and stuff. Spencer Rattler, he might break one DeShone Kizer's record if he starts this whole season and doesn't win games. DeShone Kizer is 0-15 in his career as a starter. Yeah, he's 0-15 as a career as a starter. Spencer Rattler's at a great pace to go 0-16 as a starter in the
Wow, you're
NFL.
right. You were right.
Yeah.
You don't think that they at some point would just be like, what do we have with Tyler Shuck?
They didn't even give him a chance in garbage time, bro. They had him throw 2 short passes, and that was it. They didn't even like say like,
No, I
"Hey,
know, but I'm saying like over the course of the season, like just be like, it's week 15 or week 14, we have no shot. Just throw the kid in there for a couple weeks.
I think Kellen Moore talked to ownership and the GM said, "Hey, look, this team sucks. Like I know this team sucks. It's like a Dan Campbell line situation where they knew the team was bad.
Yeah,
Just let me get my pieces and you'll see wins." And they're like, "Yeah, we trust in you. You know,
yeah,
you're with the Eagles, da da da." Like with Dan Campbell, they said, "Yeah, we believe in you. You believe in Jared Goff. Yeah, bring him in. Yeah, you're right. We have a rookie Amon Ra. We don't have the pieces that you feel like to win. So we'll give you time to build up this team and stuff." And then I feel like that's with the Eagles. I think with Tyler Shuck, we'll see him later in the season. I think they're gonna stick with Rattler because they just. I think with Shuck, it's one of those things like it has to be mechanics issue. It has to be one of those
yeah.
where like Kellen Moore wants to fine tune some mechanics because I think Kellen Moore likes him. You know, he looks at him and says, "Yeah, you're like me. You know, played a lot of college games, put up a lot of stats. We've seen you in big games. You played for a lot of great prestigious programs. Yeah, why not? Like, you know, we'll give you a shot. But right now, we just got to see what we have with we just got to ride it out with Rattler because athleticism wise, Rattler gives you a better chance if you want to win a game. It's just Rattler. He's just not surrounded by a great supporting cast. It's just
It's Alvin Kamara and it's maybe Chris Olave.
yeah.
Juwan Johnson. I mean, Juwan Johnson is making a bit of a
Oh yeah,
resurgence.
yeah. Former teammate of Tyler Shuck, and he's playing in the league a lot longer than Tyler Shuck.
That took me a second because I was like, where was he? Oh,
Oregon. That's crazy. Sometimes you're like, yeah, former teammate, and you're like, what?
What?
He's a rookie.
Well, let's turn to the Browns coming to town to face the Lions. My goodness, the Lions beaten up on the Ravens. That was a really good game.
Oh yeah.
Jared Goff played phenomenally well, and
Richard
similarly
Sherman.
to Baker Mayfield and his anger and hatred, Amon-Ra St. Brown's anger and hatred will, one, possibly get him fined. It will get him fined, and two, got him the win. So, like, I mean, the fine is fuck it, right? But now they're going to be facing a defense that has done really well against high-powered offenses, but it's an offense that has not done well against high-powered defenses. Now, do the Lions have a high-powered defense? That's really the question, because we saw what happened last week with the Browns and the Packers. The Browns did just enough to hang in there until the very end, and suddenly, split second, the fortunes of the Packers change. The question is, can the Browns follow pretty much the same exact script? Because the one thing they can't do is get into a shootout with the Lions. They're not winning any kind of shootout. Who do they have besides Jerry Jeudy and maybe Harold Fannin now? Like, David Njoku's there, sure, but like they really don't have much besides those players. Like, they're trying to get the Cedric Tillman thing going. One thing they do have, though, is Quinshon Judkins. Judkins now playing meaningful snaps, dominant level of snap count, taking that away from Dylan Sampson. He looked like a RB1 last week. He looked really good. And that is something that works in the Browns' favor, because part of why they were able to stop the Packers was ball control offense and being able to chew up time of possession. Can they pull it off this time around? Do the Lions have more firepower than the Browns? Yes, absolutely. The question is, do the Lions have more firepower than the Packers? And the answer is yes, absolutely. Because unlike the Packers, the Lions have zero issues with figuring out what's going on in their wide receiver room. This is a Lions team that has to push through. They have to stack these wins as much as they can. And it's a home game for them. So I'm going to take them on this one.
Yeah, I got the Lions in this one. Their offense is just really, really good. Defense, like we'll see if that defense can keep up with the offense and stuff. But for the most part, that offense. That's why I chose them against the Ravens, because I was like, the Ravens defense hasn't impressed me. I think the Lions their offense, like after putting 50 points on the Bears, I felt good that the Lions offense would. You know, the thing with the Lions offense, especially if run correctly, it's an offense that tires you out, man. They get you with these body blows, and then they'll hit like a couple deep shots. And then if you are close with them without like to beat the Lions, you have to blow them out from start to finish. You have to blow them out from the beginning because then the Lions play catch up football. They can't do what they want to do. But your score is 28-24, we see with this Lions team where if they get a turnover on defense or if that offense just keeps going or they keep hitting with these body blows and you're tired, they can balloon that 28
The
points just like that.
the way they hurt the Ravens with Gibbs and Monty, man, it's not fair. Like I can see that that's what like Sean Payton wants with RJ Harvey being Gibbs, and then he needs to find a Monty. But like,
No J.K. Dobbins.
I mean, I don't think J.K. Dobbins is a long-term answer there.
No, he's not.
But like similarly to Najee Harris, not the long-term answer for the Chargers. But
Unfortunately,
no. But this is that is an abundance of riches to have. Like you just forget for a moment Jameson Williams, Amon-Ra, and Laporta. Just Gibbs and Monty. Like you could win games with just Gibbs and Monty.
Yeah.
That's how wild it is. And it's ridiculous.
Because you have Monty that's just like a bowling ball of a human being, and then you have to tackle him. So it starts hurting after a while when you have to try to tackle this guy every single time. And then when you just think, okay, like Gibbs is in, he's a little bit easier. He's just so fast that you're just tired from trying to tackle Monty that you lost. Yeah, it's a great combination.
Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah, and that's why the Lions, like they will win games a lot of times because they can do this stuff. They don't like as much as people think they rely a lot on the pass, they really don't. They rely a lot on the run, and then the pass comes right after. And their last 4 years they've shown to be a successful team. The problem with the Lions is that when they get into a shootout with another team that can compete with their offense, that's the issue. Instead of like adjusting, saying, all right, this offense can compete with us. We can't get in a shootout with them. We have to, be a ball control team in this situation. And
we saw that in the Commanders game.
Yeah. And Monday Night Football, we saw it in this game where they were more of a ball control team, and it kept Lamar Jackson off the field a lot longer. So you made sure Lamar and his deadly legs and what he can do on offense won't kill you as much, because Lamar and the Ravens, they can score like that. But like the Lions, they were able to control clock, control it. And then when they want to be explosive, they can be like the Lions just need to be explosive when the game is at the end, not in the beginning. In the beginning, it's like, yeah, you can have one or two big explosive plays to JMO, but you need to be explosive at the end. Like it's like a kill shot where you just give these people. Yeah, it's like Craven. You got to be like Craven the Hunter, where Craven's playing with his food and stuff like that. But then the poison kicks in, and then Craven's just like, like I've just been fucking around this whole time. Now let me go kill you. That's when the Lions should be running these deep shots and looking to be aggressive. Is like near the end of games, because by that point teams are thinking, okay, they're going to play keep away, they're going to do this, but then you just stomp them in the throat near the end of the games, and then that forces the teams to become one-dimensional. They'll have to keep it with the pace, and if the Lions control the pace, they're one of the best teams where I don't think anyone can keep up with what this Lions team, especially offensively, can do pace-wise. Like it's so hard to stop this team when they're on the right. It was just like I said, the Packers, they got them down early. It forced the Lions to not do what they like to do best and stuff. And yeah,
I really want to see this. Like this game just fascinates me from like that. Can the Browns pull off this defensive upset again? I don't know if they can. But let's turn to this one. And man, is it wild to say that in the year of our Lord 2025, I can see the Titans beating the Texans?
Someone's those got to go.
Someone's got. But it doesn't. The Titans aren't a bad team, like in the sense that they are what they are, right? Like that they are a flawed team. They are a bad team in the sense that they don't have all of the personnel.
They're a bad coach team.
But with the personnel that they do have, they're doing all right. They're doing all right. You know what I mean? Like you have the first number 1 overall pick. Like I expect you to be terrible, but like you're showing flashes. Yeah. You're showing you can do some things.
Did you see what Callahan did though?
Like maybe once Tyjae Spears comes back off of IR, like you've got some things there, right? Like you have a little bit more of a ground game. And we were talking about this, the Texans just almost giving games away. In some cases, really just giving games away.
I have 2 notes about this. One, The Titans aren't a bad team. They just have a bad head coach. Callahan sucks. He is probably the worst coach in the NFL. This guy literally got a free timeout on 4th and 1. Did not know what the fuck was going on, and then let the play clock expire. You got a free timeout. How the fuck do you not know what's going on? And then the play clock expires, and then you get a delay of game. So that's on you. But someone on X, Texans Jacob, he posted the Texans' whole offseason overview. And when I read this can explain to you why the Texans are not a good team. C.J. Gardner-Johnson got released this week.
Right.
Cam Robinson, left tackle, filled in for Darisaw for the Vikings, benched. Laken Tomlinson, longtime guard in the NFL, benched. Darrell Taylor, linebacker that's been around a couple teams, healthy and active. Sheldon Rankins has been playing. Ed Ingram playing. Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel don't play or don't catch. Irante Urese, 11 pressures in 3 games. Jalen Smith, IR. EJ Speed, special teamer. Foley Batukasi, DT 4 and 5. Nick Neiman, released. Ronald Darby, retired. Tremont Smith and Jake Andrews, both playing well. They spent money on this team, and this is the results that you're getting. These are your offseason acquisitions. That's not good. You're not winning football games if that's your offseason acquisitions. If your acquisitions are not improving the roster, it's not good.
Yeah. Do we believe, like, ultimately it comes down to, with all of what you just said, can Will Anderson and Derek Stingley just put the team on their back and stop what is still a very young quarterback, a very young passing offense?
Yeah, they will.
Like, it feels as though the Texans are due for their win. I just also feel as though the Titans are due for their win, and I'm trying to figure out when are the Titans going to get that win. Just get off the schneid, like finally just get that win and be like, okay, we got the one. What can we build with from here?
Yeah, I got the Texans as well. No, DeMeco Ryans better head coach than Bryce Callahan. He stinks.
All right. Well, let's get to a fascinating little matchup, because now we've got the Chargers, fresh off a win against Denver. They are traveling now to the Meadowlands to take on the New York Football Giants, who will not be starting Russell Wilson. Instead, they have turned over the keys to the kingdom to Jackson Dart. It was anticipated in the sense that sooner rather than later, we knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
The question was how soon. And people did not think that it would be after week 3, but they should have started saying it should have been after week 1. We also were talking a couple weeks ago about when did we think it would happen, and I thought it would be like in a couple weeks, because I didn't want Jackson Dart to have to face these defenses that the Giants have to play. But here we are, and they're going from one AFC West team to another AFC West team, and they've got to try to figure out how to stop this Chargers defense that has been playing free, loose, and with a sense of murderous intent. This is a Chargers defense that a lot of people thought was taking a step back, and Jesse Minter was, what was gonna be the situation there with this defense, but he is continuing to show.
We need to stop talking about Jesse Minter, because I don't want him leaving. I don't want him to become a head coach.
Speaking of which, per FanDuel, best odds for assistant coach of the year, plus 600, Jesse Minter.
No, I mean,
plus 600 also is Jeff Hafley, just for transparency, but Jesse Minter.
Yeah, no, I don't want him leaving. So media, can you guys stop talking about him? Can Jim Harbaugh be like, come on, Jess, you don't want to leave? Why would you want to leave Derwin James?
He's got it better than us.
Why would you want to leave Derwin James? Why would you want to leave?
He's like
Tar Heap still.
Don't you? Did you wake up and have the same dream I did about how we have to get Justin into the Hall of Fame?
Don't you have the same dream that you want to get Derwin James in the Hall of Fame? It's like I literally don't.
But Judge is like, but are you gonna pay me more? And they're like, no. He's like,
I don't know, man. The Titans offered me this big contract, and I like Nashville. I think wherever Jesse Minter goes as a head coach, I will support him because he's a great defensive mind, but also he has restored my love for defense in the Chargers era. So like, thank you, Jesse. He's like Ron Rivera when we had Ron Rivera as a DC. Like I was like, hey, wherever Ron Rivera goes, I'll just support him just because he did so well for us and stuff. Yeah. So he went to Commanders and Panthers. I was and stuff like yeah. So, but yeah, please stop talking about Jesse Minter. I don't want him leaving us. I want him to be my DC for. I want him to just be Harbaugh Spags, where Spags is like, I could be a head coach, but fuck that. Hanging out with Andy Reid all day.
So here's one of my questions, and I wanted to talk to you because we were talking about rookie running backs and their usage and things like that. And I was saying I had something for the Chargers. We have apparently a quote from Harbaugh saying that Kamani Vidal might be the next man up. Now, I would imagine that this means more that he's going to be a change of pace back behind Hampton. But how do we feel with the idea of Hampton being given the full bore lead back role with the Chargers? Because it looks like, it's going to be his for the season now.
Yeah, I like it. I think with Hampton, a lot of it was just him getting used to the NFL speed and stuff. Like, we know this guy's physical as hell. Like, he just breaks tackles and stuff. Like for as much love as Cam Scatterbo is getting for breaking tackles and stuff, it's just like, hey man, you gotta look at this. Hampton guy. He's been breaking tackles too.
Sir, Omarion Hampton isn't breaking the tackles with his head though.
Yeah, Cam Scatterbo is a crayon eater. It's like this Twitter post that I saw. There's two types of white running backs: analytical types like Christian McCaffrey, and crayon eaters like Cam Scatterbo that just want to break tackles and hurt themselves. No, but yeah, no, I think it's good. I think the thing with Hampton too, like it kind of felt like he was playing handcuffed. Like he just knew like there was a moment where Harris could just come in and break his momentum. And even though he's a guy that I don't think needs momentum as much, I think that he was definitely feeling handcuffed. But now that he feels free, knowing that hey, Hassan Haskins will come in for like certain sets and stuff like that, and Kamani Vidal will come in for certain sets, and he knows that like the sets that him and Najee share, it's all his. I think he'll play a lot better. So I think Hampton will look good for the Giants. I'm happy that they moved on from Russell Wilson. Wilson we've been saying it since last year. He only has two moves now. He lost his athleticism. It's deep ball or check down. That's it. He doesn't look for anything else. I feel Dart, as well as people are like, oh, this is crazy. You're going against the Chargers defense. I'll say this. The Chargers defense is not a pass rush heavy defense. We don't blitz. We don't do any of these crazy exotic blitzes or anything. We blitz Derwin James. That's it. Like that's the one thing you got to know about the Chargers defense is find out where number 3 is. He might be blitzing you. He might be dropping in coverage. You'll be fine. I think it's a good defense for him to like. It's a good defense because the Chargers defense, what makes them annoying is that they're always in the right places. They know how to tackle. That's the hard part about this Chargers defense. But they are susceptible to the deep ball. That's the one issue with the Chargers defense. That's the one handicap against them is that deep ball is there for you if you want to take it. But you can't always be taking those shots because, like I said, the Chargers, most of the time, they're in the right situation in the right place. So, got to be smart with the ball. So, it's going to be a tough defense for him to face. But I think if it's a defense where you can see where Jackson Dart is in his progressions and reading the field, it's a perfect defense for him to try out against because you sit there and you say, hey, look, Dart, you got to learn how to read this defense. Where's this? Where's that? Blah, blah, blah. And that right there is going to lead to, like Jackson Dart's progression better than him seeing Russell Wilson throw a bunch of moon balls to Malik Neighbors. That won't go anywhere. And so I think it's a little bit more of a trickier game. I think Dart will be able to roll out. If there's any weaknesses, Chargers defense, it's quarterbacks running. Look at Mahomes. Look at Bo Nix. Look at Geno Smith when he had a little bit of time to run. Jackson Dart, if he gets some wheels going, it's something that you can stop. You can hinder this Chargers defense. But in terms of blitzes and pass rush, this is a good first defense for him to face because they're not a heavy blitz team. They don't have a significant pass rush with Khalil Mack being out. They haven't been able to find like Tui Tuapatola. He's been playing well against the run, but in terms of pass rushing, it's not like you were scared when he was pass rushing you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think the Chargers will win. I think also, too, the one thing is it could be a trap game for the Chargers because it is an East Coast game. And it's not – yeah, and it's not like the Chargers are playing at 1 o'clock, like Pacific Standard Time, 4 o'clock Eastern. They got the 10 o'clock Eastern time, 10 o'clock start time. 1 o'clock Eastern start time. So it's like, maybe the bodies aren't woken up yet. Maybe it takes a while for them to,
Yeah.
wake up and play this game. So I think the Chargers will struggle to begin. That Giants defensive line is pretty scary when healthy and stuff, but I think they'll wake up. And then after the Chargers win, we will go to John Mara's office. We'll say, hey, here's the 3rd-round pick. Thank you for Kayvon Thibodeau. We appreciate it. And then we tell Kayvon Thibodeau, just come on the plane with us. And then we take Kayvon Thibodeau from you.
I love this fantasy booking.
That'd be great. That'd be great for get Thibodeau. I would love him. But no, yeah, I think the Chargers win this game. I think we improved to 4-0. I'm glad that look, as everyone's saying, why didn't you just start against the Saints where they're bad? That's not going to help Jackson Dart get better. This will help Jackson Dart get better. Him playing against a good defense, having to read these cover 3 matches and stuff. Hey, look, all you got to do, Giants, if you guys want to win this game, find out where number 3 is at all times. Figure out what the fuck he's doing. Neutralize number 3. And have Cam Scatterbo just run where Alohi Gilman is, because Alohi Gilman's fucking trash. Get him off my team. Tony Jefferson should not be outplaying you, dog. And the Lord's Year 2025, Tony Jefferson's old ad. This guy was retired, and he was going to be a part of the scout team. And Joe Ortiz is like, hey, man, want to go play safety for us? Practice? And then he goes, yeah, I'll play. And now he's one of our more integral players on the fucking team. Like,
that's how it happens sometimes.
Alohi Gilman. Is Tarheeb still the best tackle corner in the NFL?
Tackle corner?
Yeah, he can tackle. Like, have you seen a corner hit?
He's up there.
No, like how many times have you seen that screenplay and the corner can't tackle down the person? Tarheeb still he's pretty good. He's pretty damn good, man. He's good at tackling. Recovering wise, hit or miss, but tackling, I know that motherfucker can tackle. That's for sure. But yeah, go Chargers, 4-0. Feels so great, Who's got better than us? Nobody.
Well, let's turn to a story of 2 teams that are going to be facing off with quarterbacks that were in the same draft class. Well, maybe not, because the story is that Jaden Daniels might still not be cleared in order to play, and it might
Back in my day, Phillip Rivers played with a torn ACL. What the hell is this?
What happened to the game I love?
Yeah. Play with these injuries. Fuck it.
But Jaden Daniels may not be playing in this one, and so it could just be Marcus Mariota starting. But Marcus Mariota seemed to do pretty damn good last week.
Yeah.
Got the job done. Whether it was the same level of competition, wait, you mean the competition of the Falcons, who didn't score against the Panthers? Oh my God, this is a very intriguing line. I don't understand why this is this is just 102 because the Falcons have some level of home field advantage.
Yeah, I mean, did you hear they serve hot dogs for $5 there? I mean,
the Commanders have been a well-coached team. They are getting the job.
Their only loss is to Green Bay, who we both think is a great team right now.
And they can't they meaning the Falcons. Their defense was looking better, but after last week, it's like, wait a minute, what's going on? You can't be letting midget boy Bryce Young fucking get any form of yardage on you. What is going on with there? I don't understand how that was allowed.
Bryce Young's rushing touchdown, I literally thought he was going to get tackled before, and somehow he got in the end zone. I was just like, the fuck it. Like, how did you do this? Well, the angle the Falcons defender was taking was a good angle, so I was like, yeah, he's going to get tackled. All of a sudden, he was in the end zone. I was just like, oh,
it's
Magic Bryce.
It's like the one time that being small worked in his favor.
Yeah, Magic Bryce.
Michael Penix Jr., man, this is an offense that you have Drake London, sir. I don't know if you know this. You have Drake London. You also have Bijan Robinson. You have Tyler Algier. You have all these pieces, and they could not score against the Panthers. It was super surprising to the point that
Kirk Cousins played, our boy.
Roy Rogers. Little Roy Rogers after the game, huh? Oh, but I mean, it is the season, but still. They turned back to Kirk Cousins, Kirk O'Chains.
That's why the Coles Cash blanket in the background from my dog. He's back.
You go. You gotta do it. This is a hilarious situation. Because I mean, as backups go, having a $45 million a year backup is certainly was a choice. But just like last year, is there something the Falcons know about their QB1 that we don't?
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
I remember I said I'm not high on the Falcons because Penix, like the problem with Penix is he is like I like that he's aggressive, but sometimes he's too damn aggressive. And that's the thing with this Panthers game was the Panthers were just like shutting down all his aggressive routes. And Penix, when it comes to throwing the ball short or anything medium, he doesn't put enough zip in it. He just kind of like goes, here you go. The ball's floating in the air. And that's what led to that one pick six was that he just floated that thing. There was no zip. There was no like, oh, that was a nice throw. It was just he just floated in there, and it was like a nice little okay, cool. I'll pick this off and stuff. But yeah, I think the Commanders have more talent than the Falcons. Yeah, no, I'm going with the Commanders. Like even without Jaden Daniels, Mariota showed enough. The Commanders are doing like we don't know who's running back one. All you idiots can run the football, and sometimes those are my favorite offenses where they just don't have a true running back one. They just say like. We're still trying to figure things out. Like all you guys just run the football.
Still like week 15, we're still trying to figure things out.
Yeah, Debo's looking good. Terry's slowly getting back into like scary Terry shape. So Zach Ertz is just the fountain of youth. Like this guy I don't know how he does it. Like he's just like still running routes, still catching meaningful balls.
He refuses to let. He just, you know what it is? Somehow, some way, when they drafted Ben Sinnott did something to offend Zach Ertz, and Zach Ertz said, "I'm never
like how I offended Zach Ertz at the gym." Did I tell you the story?
I don't think so.
Okay, so Zach Ertz is works out in this area. My friend who I worked out with, she had like passes to one of these fancy ass gyms. I think it was an Equinox or something. So she gave me some passes to use and stuff. So I went to this gym.
Sure.
And it was way too bougie for me. I'm definitely not part of this culture. I was literally out of place. I was wearing like an old high school workout shirt, shitty workout pants. All these motherfuckers in Lululemon. All
like,
this,
where's the salt tablets?
Yeah, it was just ridiculous. And so I saw this bench wasn't being used, so I decided, let me just move the stuff. So I moved the stuff. Bad gym etiquette, but it wasn't being used for like at least 2 different workouts that I did. So I just felt, maybe someone looked there. Turns out it was a tight end for the Eagles at the time, Zach Ertz's stuff. Comes up to me, goes, "Hey, see who moved my stuff?" I'm like, "No, it wasn't me. I didn't." As I'm on the bench that he was going to use, so you would think it was me, but just asked me. Nice. Turns out he started blaming the guy next to me, and then it got into a huge fight. And I was just like, I did not know this was Zach Ertz. I just thought this was this big, hulking, physical man. And then I go to check out, and I talk to the nice little receptionist. And I say, "Man, who's that big guy that's so angry?" She goes, "Oh, you don't know? It's an NFL player. Do you know Zach Ertz?" I'm like, "Oh man, yeah, you from the Eagles?" Oh shit! And so then I left the gym, and I pissed off Zach Ertz that day. And so I always remember that. I don't know if Zach Ertz, if I told him the story, he'll remember, but I remember because he was scary too, man. I was like this big old hulking guy. I was just like, Jesus Christ, this guy can snap me in half. And I wasn't trying. And then he blamed the guy next to me, and then they got into a huge argument. So,
well, thank God, because otherwise you may not.
Probably happened to Ben Sinnott. He probably moved Zach Ertz's water and towel like I did.
And so Zach Ertz is just like, I'm never letting this man see the field. But hopefully for these next teams that we're going to talk about, this next game, that's not going to be the case for rookie running back fucking TreVeyon Henderson, because after he got a few false start penalties in pass pro, and when they had him on there for pass pro or some nonsense, Vrabel was like, we're just not going to trust this guy to run the ball. And so they've been going with Ramondre Stevenson or Antonio Gibson. And Ramondre Stevenson, part of the reason why you drafted TreVeyon Henderson was because Stevenson has a fumbling problem. And sure enough, he fumbles twice in that game against the Steelers. So then you're like, oh, well, what if we still don't want to trust TreVeyon Henderson for some reason. So what about Gibson? Gibson, interestingly enough, also has a problem with fumbling. That's also why you went and got Henderson. Gibson fumbles. I'm looking at this like, okay, can he finally start using TreVeyon Henderson more? Not because there's this belief that especially from the preseason, every time he touched the ball, he scored. It's this idea that you need to inject, like, where is this youth going to come from?
Yeah.
Because Drake May is having a bit of a tough time with some of these receivers. But what would help is a run game. And he's having a limited amounts of success with Stevenson. The question is Stevenson the long-term answer? No, you might as well get Henderson acclimated to taking handoffs from Drake May, from catching screen passes or dump-off passes from Drake May, or getting Drake May comfortable with trusting that he can get the ball to Henderson in space when they need that to get the pressure off. Right now, all you have is Hunter Henry, and Hunter Henry's doing a great job. But Hunter Henry is not going to be long for the world.
I miss him.
He has been there. He's been playing in the NFL for, it feels like, 24 years.
Did you like their new tight end?
Chargers.
Did you like the Chargers tight end? Alonde Granson second?
Yeah. Granson did pretty damn fucking well.
Maybe your maybe your Broncos should do that. Use a tight end.
Well, listen, if Evan Ingram could get on the field, they probably would. They would still throw to Adam Troutman.
You know what's crazy? Because CBS was doing that throwback weekend stuff.
Yeah.
It was actually on the same day that his dad also did had his NFL debut and made a bunch of catches. Yeah, Gatson. Yeah. So I was like, damn, that's fucking crazy. There's like literally the same day. It's like to the date, like September, what it was. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Good shit.
Well, congratulations to him. But anyway,
it was great. Great stuff. I'm going with the shocking pick here. I'm going with the Panthers because I feel the Patriots will find. I'm losing stock. I'm losing stock in Braves. The Vrabel's making some weird coaching decisions. I thought
I'm taking the Patriots.
I think I really thought that Travion Henderson, it would be a lock. This guy's a man of God. Josh McDaniels is a man of God. Travion Henderson has a wonderful story of being a born again Christian and everything and stuff. Like, it was just like, he lost his way. Football was not going his way. Injuries got him all freaked out. And then he found God, and now he's great. So I thought for sure Josh McDaniels would love this guy. But no, they're just so stuck with this Gibson and Ramondre Stevenson bullshit. And it's just like, guys, like, Henderson's a good football player. Like, yeah, he may not be a consistent every down running back, but you got to give him touches. You got to let him play. Like, let this kid cook. And then if you let this kid cook, you'll be good. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah, I don't know what they're doing with Travion Henderson. They got to do a much better job with this guy and stuff. But I think the Panthers, they showed me something there in that game, and I feel that defense showed me something against the Falcons. Like, I just feel the Patriots are going to find a way to blow this game. Like, it's going to be one of those games, and
I completely like that. I can see, especially if they start with Stevenson and Gibson on the ground, as opposed to being like, let's just let this rookie rip and see what happens. Because if you have a more dynamic runner, it opens up Drake May as a runner too.
Yeah,
that's what's been working for the Ravens with Lamar and Henry. That's what's been working for the Eagles with Hurts and Saquon. Like, why not try to see if you can have something like that too? Mm-hmm. But we shall see.
Yeah. In fact, the next two games, I'm going to parlay all my underdogs in these two games.
I'm taking the Colts.
Yeah, I don't know why they're being disrespected against the Rams like this.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, you know what I think it is? I think they really respect your boy Jared Verse. But the Colts.
No, I think they just respect the fact that the Rams lost on a fluky touchdown to the Eagles and stuff. And the Colts are looking really damn good. And then Taylor, like, I saw a stat. Jonathan Taylor's like outrunning 22 other NFL teams on his yardage alone and stuff, outrushing. And it's like, he's been playing well. Daniel Jones has been playing well. That receiving room's been playing well. The Colts defense is playing good too. Like,
this brings up a question. If you're the Giants, specifically, if you're John Mara, and you
like Danny
hired what?
You like Danny?
No, I know, but I'm saying if you hired Brian Daboll to be a QB whisperer, to be the guy, like an offensive guy, and all this kind of stuff, and then first you lose Saquon, which, to be fair, wasn't specifically Daboll's fault, because that's a GM thing, that's a money thing, that's
Well, John Mara was cool with paying him the money. It was the GM that wasn't cool. That's
but it wasn't Daboll. But I'm saying it wasn't
Yeah,
Dable.
that was still my favorite thing on that Hard Knocks. You go, yeah,
It would hurt my heart.
no, when he goes and he's like, and like Joe Shane's trying to explain all the running backs they can bring in instead of just having Saquon,
Yeah.
and John Mara being like that old man, like, yeah, but I want Saquon. it's like, bro, he knows what he wants. Just like listen to him. He doesn't care how much Saquon's going to make. I get it that the GM's job is supposed to be cap flexibility, but you told John Mara, oh yeah, you would have Saquon Barkley still. He would have done it. It's just Saquon looked at it and said, I kind of want to go back home and money's good. And the Eagles did right by him because they gave him like a cheap contract, man.
What I'm saying is, if you're the Giants and you hired Brian Dable to be this offensive guru, especially like a QB whisperer kind of guy, and you see Saquon Barkley go to the Eagles and then win the Super Bowl, and then you're like, okay, but we knew Saquon leaving was going to be okay because we were keeping Daniel Jones, and then you lose Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones goes to the Colts and is looking like Peyton Manning on the Colts. Aren't you, if you're the Giants, looking at Brian Dable and going, wait a minute?
Yeah.
Is it possible you were the problem?
How did Steichen figure this out? And because like that was the same reason Shane Steichen was, hired by the Colts, because they said, hey, you did everything with, like, Steichen has a great, repertoire of awesome quarterbacks that he's worked with. He's worked with Rivers. He's worked like so many great quarterbacks. But the fact that he unlocked Jalen Hurts, that's why they gave Steichen the job, because they were saying, hey, can you unlock AR-15? Maybe AR-15 is just not a good quarterback. Maybe my boy Big Tony, he just can't figure it out.
I don't think it's a maybe. I think he is not a good quarterback.
No, we're going with maybe here. We haven't seen him under. If you fail under Sean McVay, I'm giving him the McVay pass. Once he gets to the Rams and he's with Sean McVay, then we'll see.
What, in 2029?
Yeah. McVay will be like, I'm going to retire. And then the Rams will be like, hey, Sean, we're going to give you Anthony Richardson. All right, give me this guy. Big wheels, big arm. Yeah, I'll make him something. Fuck yeah. Everyone's saying I'm washed.
I mean, maybe similarly to how you want the Chargers to go to the Giants and then leave with Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yeah.
The Colts can come to the Rams.
I don't even think they
Anthony Richardson behind.
Yeah, I don't think they even need to get a draft pick. I think they can just offer them some In-N-Out burger, and then they'll be like, here's In-N-Out for the team, and then here you go. But yeah, like I always said Daniel Jones wasn't the main problem. I said it was always the play calling with Dable. Like Dable has this, like I thought he was play calling for Jones to fail more than anything else. Like it wasn't like, I don't think it was Jones was really the issue, because I think Daniel Jones, like I'm not saying Daniel Jones is like some top 10 quarterback, but what we're seeing with Daniel Jones and the Colts, that's what you want out of him. Be a game manager that can use his wheels when needed. Like Daniel Jones is like Alex Smith, where do enough to help us win games. That's it. That's a fair comparison for Daniel Jones. It's not a knock against him. It's like you want to be like an Alex Smith in the NFL. Alex Smith played many years, was a really good starter, played in the, like it's just like the thing with Daniel Jones that he has over Alex Smith is that he is much faster. He is much more athletic. He's not a sneaky athlete. He is a really good athlete. Like that was the reason why he got drafted, where they said, yo, if we can add to these athletic tools, this guy's a weapon. And the Colts are adding to, like, there was that 1 3rd down. It was like, oh, Colts are dead in the water. And then Daniel Jones scrambles for like 18 yards and stuff. And it's like, damn, this is why you have a guy like Daniel Jones, because he can run like this when needed. He's one of the faster players in the NFL too. Like, remember, he has one of the fastest QB runs of all time and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's the thing with Daniel Jones. Is like, I think he's a good, solid NFL quarterback. I just think Dable was just frustrated with him because he couldn't understand the Dable terminology or the Dable scheme and stuff. And Daniel Jones, he's not really the most vocal guy. He's very like quiet, low key. I mean, the Manning cast on Monday, he was just like, yeah, oh yeah, Eli beating me in Flip Cup. That was crazy. Like, doesn't have like the biggest energy. He's not a big energy guy. You're not getting energy out of Danny Dimes, so.
One thing that you got to try to get is energy if you're the Niners. Because holy schmoly, you've got Mac Jones now out with a knee injury. He's hurt with a knee injury. You got Ricky Pearsall out with a knee injury. There's potential that Brock Purdy may have to get rushed back into the lineup in order to start for the Niners. this is, if you were the Niners, this is just a terrible situation because
What
look at the imagine
who did
losing
they piss off?
Like they lost Nick. You know what I think it is? I think it's possible, that it's like you are a team that has Nick Bosa in a state that's California. Like there's something there. Like
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's why Joey had to leave. He was like, I can't deal with these liberals, Nick. I can see Nick Bosa for sure when San Francisco's doing those pride rallies. He's like, I gotta shut these people up. he shows up. He shows up out of anger and spite, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm ready for game day."
But like this is such a weird season for the Niners when you have like we were talking about this, like the strength of schedule favors them so much, and they cannot get out of their way.
Yeah,
I can completely understand why you would want to take the Jaguars here.
yeah, no, I just think that the Niners are so beat up, and it's going to be one of those games.
Yeah, it's an injury thing.
Yeah, it's one of those games. They're so beat up. The Jaguars are running off this good momentum. They look good against a team in the Texans who, let's be real. Like everyone's saying, they're running away. They're going to run away with the division and stuff. And like obviously the Texans aren't, but it's just more like I look at the Jaguars. And I'm like, hey, look, they're competent enough to win games. They should win this game, especially with the Niners beat up. I don't even know like if trotting out Purdy is the best decision. I almost think this game is like, hey, if you're Shanahan, you kind of punt it. You kind of say to yourself like, hey, we're in an SOL situation. It is what it is, and we'll look at next week type of thing and figure and re-strategize from there and stuff. Actually, I might go for underdogs. I forgot the Chiefs.
The problem is right now they only have two quarterbacks on the roster. It's either Mac Jones or Purdy.
They don't have a practice squad emergency guy.
They have Adrian Martinez on the practice squad, so they have to elevate him.
Yeah, they can act. Because because you can have a third quarterback as an emergency guy.
So no, I know.
54.
Yeah, they'd have to. I think they'd have to do a little bit of moving around with that practice squad trip. But like, god damn, man.
No, because he's still considered practice squad, so he can just be emergency.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. That's why team. That's
the Purdy rule. The Purdy rule.
Yeah, that's why teams roster just two quarterbacks because they get an additional slots for a kicker, punter, and quarterback that they can activate game day as an emergency, but they don't remove their practice squad eligibility. If they can elevate them if they start a certain amount of games. But yeah, Martinez can play like this one game. I wouldn't rush Purdy back. I want Purdy back 100% if I'm the Niners because he's literally going to be like the guy to lead you and stuff. So.
Yeah,
give me the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs.
They're saying right now Brock Purdy limited at practice. Ricky Pearsall out with a knee injury. Mac Jones is day to day with a knee injury. You got what's his name? Nick Bosa completely gone. You've got not practicing. Also, is still Juwan Jennings with the ankle. Like Trent Williams is on rest, but like, oof, this is. Tough if you're the
I gotta run to the restroom, but I'm gonna go with the Chiefs and stuff. I'm going
with the Chiefs.
Yeah, and I'll explain why when I'm back. But
I'm intrigued to see like if this is just gonna be another game of Derrick Henry doing a fumble.
No, I got the Chiefs.
But yeah, this is a fascinating game from the perspective of two AFC powerhouses coming together two AFC powerhouses coming together in a game that for the Chiefs and the Ravens, this could easily be an AFC title game. It has been. I think it has been an AFC title game. And for the Ravens, it's a situation where much like the game against the Bills, like these are the games that you have to win. You have to stack if you are the Ravens to try to ensure that you have home field advantage in the playoffs, because why would you want to not have home field advantage in the playoffs? If you're the Bills, Bills already beat the Ravens. The Bills will face the Chiefs. The Chiefs, you're going to face the Ravens and the Bills. Like this is the three-headed monster of AFC teams to try to figure out what exactly is going to be who exactly is going to be the one who leaves the division or leaves the conference with the championship to represent in the Super Bowl. I think the Ravens are going to be playing angry. I think the Ravens are going to be playing with enough anger and determination. Lamar did not play bad in the game. He did like what he was supposed to do. It just so happened that they had that Derrick Henry fumble. And the idea that Derrick Henry has fumbled now back to back to back games is really fascinating from the perspective of what exactly are they supposed to do? Like, what exactly are they supposed to do if he has another one of these game-changing fumbles? Because like it's not a situation where you're going to bench Derrick Henry, but at the same time, is it just like you try to use Justice Hill a little bit more? You try to use Keaton Mitchell a little bit more. You try to use Rasheen Ali a little bit more. Like, how do you manage a situation where one of the best running backs in the game seems to be having something of a ball control slump, which is wild considering he didn't really have that many fumbles before. The question is going to be whether or not the Ravens receivers can really be the deciding factor, because I can see a situation where this is a low scoring game. I can also see a situation where this is a very high scoring game. My question is going to be, how do the Chiefs stack up against the Ravens when it comes to punch for punch? But can the Ravens go punch for punch with their receivers? Because if you can't rely as much on Derrick Henry, with the idea being like, oh, is this fumble thing a thing, or can we use this game and have him beat up on the Chiefs to be a way to get him his confidence back? Because he was sick. He was so pissed off at himself after that fumble against this past week that he was against the Lions, that he like that it got memed, his reaction and him throwing the helmet. It is it's just a crazy situation. But how they're going to pull this off, I'm not 100% sure. Now Chase said he's taking the Chiefs. I'm going to take the Ravens to keep this one interesting, but like I don't. My question is just what is going on.
John, you're making the wrong choice right there, man. You got to choose me and the Chiefs.
There you go. I want to see, like, give me your argument as to why it's going to be the Chiefs winning this one.
Man, they're back. The magic is back. I saw it on Sunday Night Football. Honestly, I just think the Chiefs can exploit this Ravens defense. It's just the Ravens defense has not shown me any fight or any give during these last few weeks. I think the Chiefs are going to do the usual Chiefs things and win the game. Nothing more. I just think the Chiefs are going to find a way to win this game close. Or maybe a Derrick Henry fumble. He's fumbling for whatever reason.
That's one of my concerns is, if you're the Ravens, do you want to try to mix in Justice Hill, Keaton Mitchell, and Rasheen Ali a little bit more?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that they're not Derrick Henry, but if Henry's going through some weird fumbling slump,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
My concern is with the Ravens, the ability of the receivers, because if you do want to try to play a little bit more up tempo, can Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman handle the load? Rashad Bateman is starting to pick up more than Zay Flowers, but I'm looking to see whether or not they get Isaiah Likely back this week.
Yeah,
that I think is the real kicker. And if you're the Ravens, because think about how you're booking this right now. Because obviously I think you're definitely not getting your Bengals Super Bowl.
No.
But if you're the way you're booking this right now, the Ravens will have lost to the Chiefs and the Bills.
Yeah. Bills and Chiefs AFC title. Josh Allen finally beats the evil empire, and then he has to face a new one in the Eagles.
I'm thinking the Bills are going to the Super Bowl.
No, they feel like the Bills feel like that team of destiny. They just feel like the only other team where I kind of feel like, ooh, they could probably honestly, it's my Chargers. I feel like they're the only other team where you're just like they could shock them.
They are sneaky.
And plus with Jim Harbaugh, the whole Justin and if Herbert keeps playing how he's playing, it's like kind of like, yeah, the Bills may be the team of destiny, but the Chargers might kick your ass, and Jim Harbaugh is like just goofy and autistic enough to win a game.
Yeah, but I think right around January is when Madison Beer's demon devil succubus aspect is going to come out.
No.
Murder Justin Herbert and steal his soul.
No, don't say that about her. She's a wonderful soul. Did you listen to her single? It was really good.
No, I have not.
Oh, you should.
Oh, speaking of which, I played the intro spot where we were talking about the Chargers and everything
Mhm.
for Colleen, so she could hear like just your different reactions and your belief that Madison Beer is this great individual and how
Yeah.
you. And we were thinking that you should have to sing the hook of a different Madison Beer song every week.
Okay. There's a lot.
I'm giving you a week,
Okay.
notice because she and I were having this conversation like yesterday. I was like, that's not fair. I'm not going to put you in that kind.
I listen to Madison Beer every game day now. Like that's my game day. No, I'm being this serious. She gets my boy hyped. I got to be hyped myself. So
Let's talk about one of the teams that your boy beat on the way to the 3-0 run with the Las Vegas Raiders. Soon, I completely forgot about that soon, but I just was reading about it yesterday. To be joined in Vegas by the Athletics sometime in 2028, I think. But the Raiders are going to be hosting the Chicago Bears, who are coming off of a thrashing of the Dallas Cowboys. And we're going to get to the Cowboys in the very next game. But the Bears looked good. Now, whether this is because it was a Cowboys defense that no longer has Micah Parsons, we don't know. But they are now going to be going up against a Raiders defense that is pretty dang good with Max Crosby and the ability to generate pressures. And they're going to be going up against an offense that is a little bit better equipped than the Cowboys offense, at least from a paper standpoint, with the Jacoby Myers, Trey Tuckers, Brock Bowers, and Ashton Genties of the world. The question is, can the Bears be opportunistic and take apart one or two Geno throws? Because sometimes that's all you need.
Mm-hmm.
All you need is just one or two Geno throws that are just off balance, and either that stalls the drive or you get an interception. And that's what allows you to capitalize on it. The Bears are definitely having problems running the ball still, even with everything that happened with the Cowboys. But I will say this. When they're getting Caleb on these scripted throws and these scripted plays, they're doing very well. It's the improvisational stuff that they're having a little bit of trouble with, but they are spreading the ball around. All three intended primary receivers for the Bears, Roma Dunze, DJ Moore, Luther Burden, all got touchdowns last week. Colson Loveland, still a little bit assed out there, but Cole Kmet picking up a little bit of steam. This is a tough one. I can see why it's a coin flip game.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Bears only because I think it's more wish casting. I want to see them win this game so that they can keep progressing.
Yeah.
I know what the Raiders are. I know the Raiders are going to be in it more next year than this year. I think this is they're kind of using this as like a bit of a rebuild year and just like get everybody acclimated.
Yeah.
Whereas the Bears, you gotta win these games. You gotta win these games if you're gonna keep faith with the fans and keep faith with the organization. I'm gonna take the Bears on this one. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm going with the Bears too. I just think that like what I saw, like what was really impressive that Caleb Williams actually stayed in the pocket during most of his throws instead of running around. Like he was very, very comfortable. He seems like he's learning to trust what Ben Johnson is cooking in there. So that's always a good sign too. And we saw how explosive this Chicago offense could be. The Raiders, it's not that it's just like you said, they're more like a rebuilding, but it's just like with Geno Smith, he's always due for like that like game where he just throws like 2-3 interceptions like he did a couple week ago at Monday Night Football and stuff. So I just feel it's one of those where it's just I could see it where it's the Raiders, they're in it, but the Bears do something. I feel like this is a nice little, like the Bears, they're not playing as well as they did against the Cowboys, but then some way, somehow they come back and they win the game, and everyone's like, "Oh, Ben Johnson, he's so great." Those first 2 weeks, we were worried about nothing, and the Raiders, it's just the Raiders.
Yeah, I gotta say,
Mike, this is a big game. Cowboys, Packers. Not only are we seeing Dak Prescott play for the Cowboys, we're seeing Dak Prescott 2.0 and Jordan Love play for the Cowboys. Mike,
so here's the thing.
It's great.
Did the Cowboys lose because they're terrible, or did they lose last week because one, they don't have Micah Parsons anymore, and they lost CeeDee Lamb? Like, in the first quarter.
Yeah.
How much of a factor was the CeeDee Lamb loss? Like, you can make an argument that CeeDee Lamb got hurt because George Pickens was casting voodoo spells on him from the sidelines because he was like, if I don't start catching passes,
How am I
I'm
getting
going
my
to start
contract?
fighting DBs. So he thought the best thing to do was just to curse CeeDee Lamb. But Lamb's supposed to be out for somewhere around 3 to 4 weeks. Like, they're targeting. They're saying he could be back as early as week 6. They're thinking maybe week 7. But this is a Cowboys. It is wild, Chase. I gotta say, you picked the Cowboys to win the division.
Yeah.
That looks like it's going to be tough. Now,
Yeah.
like, you picked them to win the division,
Yeah.
and like 3 days later they traded Micah Parsons.
Yeah, and that was bullshit. I was holding out hope, and I won't give up on that yet.
But coming to town is a Packers squad that is. They still don't know who exactly their wide receiver room is, but they know that if they can just get the ball to Josh Jacobs, they can do some things. And Tucker Kraft, they used him as a great decoy as he was coming back from his injury. Like, he was questionable to play the game, but he did show up, and he didn't do that much, but he did enough to be a distraction to help out with the passing attack. But the Packers defense, if they could just swarmed a little bit more, they would have been able to shut down the Browns and stop taking that loss. I'm putting this on the Packers. I think they're coming in a little bit pissed off. I think Micah Parsons, they asked him what was it going to be like, playing against the Cowboys, and Micah was like, it's going to be painful to try to sack Dak. And then, like, that was the quote, and then, like, I added, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
And then they asked Jerry if he's gonna have some kind of, like, thank you celebration for Micah Parsons, and Jerry was like, why would I do that? He's not a Cowboy. So Micah Parsons is like, oh, well, if that's how we're gonna do this, then I'm gonna come in here a little bit with the intent to murder your little boy, and I'm taking the Packers.
Yeah, I want to choose the Cowboys, but I got the Packers. They're better. That defense is really good. They lost on some key mistakes. Like the one key mistake was the what's it called? The Browns were going for it on 4th down and like they're 50, and instead of the defender batting it down, he decided to go for an interception, and then it was pretty much an arm punt at that point because like it was just like, oh, cool, your punt returner got like 10 more yards off the return. So I was like, if you bat it down, then you start on the 50. It's just more, can I see this Packers offense score some touchdowns, especially if the run game is not like at its best. Like if Josh Jacobs can't get going, what can Jordan Love do? And that's why in my Collinsworth impression, I say it's Dak Prescott 2.0. He reminds me a lot of Dak, Jordan Love, where it's like, yeah, you're good. You could be great. You can be an MVP candidate, but there's something missing. I don't know what that missing something is, but there's something missing with you overall as a player for me to really buy in that you're taking this next leap. So, yeah, Packers, though, better defense. Cowboys defense is atrocious. Like, look at what they did. I mean, the Bears, the Eagles, and the Giants all had their way with this defense. So, I'll be shocked if the Packers don't have their way with the defense. It's going to be one of those Sunday night games where you're just like, by the third quarter, you're just debating, do you stay up because you have sports bets and fantasy in this, or do you just go to bed early because you're like, this game is not going to be entertaining? It's going to be one of those. Collinsworth and Mike, they better have some good, deep material ready. They better be ready to talk about something other than the game.
I'm the kind of guy that thinks about what it will be like to be able to watch a football game in the middle of April. I'm going to be watching Sunday Night Football all the way through.
Yeah, that's good, John. And I got to figure out, what am I going to talk about here? It's one of those things. It's not going to be a good game. Like, can't compare any of these guys to Patrick Mahomes, but,
So I'm kind of annoyed that there's this doubleheader is happening only because Peyton and Eli don't do the Manning cast when there's doubleheaders.
Yeah, it's the worst.
And I'm like, this is like the one time where I would want, like, it's the Broncos playing on Monday night. What is this? But
He's such a homer for the Broncos too. He's like
I
our
love-
ball,
I-
and then
I
you're
love
like, all right, you no longer play for that team anymore, Pate.
I love it though, because like there's all these Colts fans who are like, yeah, he's a Colt, and he is like, no, not really.
He still goes to Colts games. He's just
I mean,
not
he goes,
as
but he like
yeah.
goes begrudgingly. He does. He's not that
No,
excited.
he was happy to be with Ursay. There,
Well, okay, that's Jim Irsay, but
it's his dog. Rest in peace. This Monday
is
night.
ugly. This first one is ugly.
Yeah, like they were hoping for such good things for this and stuff, and is Buck and Aikman are calling this one, right? They have to be. They call normally the first one.
Yeah, that's right. And then it's Booger and
no, you're getting Chris Fowler. Fowler has to call Fowler because they don't have Tessitore. Tessitore is doing Monday Night Raw for whatever reason now.
I thought you had SmackDown.
I don't know what they're doing with the commentary, bro. Like they switched it up.
It's Wade and Michael Cole for Raw.
No, Tess has been doing Raw the last few weeks.
He has?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, 100%. He called last night. He was all like, and Dirty Dom does not get in there. Honestly, Tess is way better than Michael Cole. He needs to take over full time. If you want this, no, I mean that serious. Tess, his calls are so fucking good. It makes you believe. Like you're just like, oh, he's so good. It's like Tess took his boxing commentary and just put the WWE, him being a WWE fan or wrestling fan in general, and put his like spin on it, and it's so good, man. Like he makes every moment feel bigger. Like it's like a nobody match against Rusev and JD.
I will give him that. Like he has to make it
like,
sound.
It's like Rusev and JD McDonough. He's like, and there's the accolade. Can JD get out of this? There's no point. I'm like, bro, you're calling a mid-card match. Calm down, dog. But I look at that as like, dude, if I was a kid, I'd be like, oh my god, it's like JR. Damn it, Val Venis just stole that. Like, it's just like, I love Tess. He's so good. Michael Cole is just so monotone now. He's like, if I'm not with Pat, I don't try. It's like, okay. But Dolphins and Jets.
It's like who to take here.
I mean, there's nothing like do I just look at it? Oh, Dolphins get a longer week and stuff, but then the Jets sometimes they show up on Monday Night Football, and I'm not really in love with this Dolphins team. But if Tyrod's still the quarterback and stuff, like I don't know, and it's like it's so tough, man. Like I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. Sadly, I think they won their first game. I think they beat the Jets. Someone's always got to go.
Someone's always got to go.
Yeah, so I guess it's the Dolphins.
I will say shout out to Aaron Glenn for that dance walk down the side. That was amazing. I love that.
Yeah, no, I think Glenn's a good coach. I just think he doesn't have the offense that he wants. Like obviously, he is trying to recreate what they have in Detroit. And I think he likes what he has in Breece Hall and Braylon Allen. It's just when Fields went out, that's when the offense kind of has staggered a little bit. And Tyrod, literally, he played fine in that game. It was just he had so many interceptions that were just crucial. And then it was like when he finally was getting it to Garrett Wilson and to Alan Lazard and stuff, it was just like it was a little bit too late. So it's like, but this Jets team is feisty, but I'm feeling the Dolphins a little bit more, just a little bit. It's like more of like a tug of war match, and you have like the big kid going against all the little kids. And then I can see that.
Like, I can see a world where it's just like Devin Achan's just gonna do Devin Achan things.
And then Mike McDaniel says something goofy at halftime, like, we still haven't gotten the full pizza out of the oven yet. So we'll have to see after this second half. And it's just like, what is he talking? Pizza out of the oven?
They're just like, what's your plan for the second half? And he's just like, really, guys, I'm focused on tomorrow because, as you know, it's just another day where we're closer to dying.
Yeah.
That was one of the funniest quotes.
His halftime, like after the thing, like when they're like they go up to him after the first half, they're like, Mike, you played so well in this first half. What do you got to do in the second half to win? Well, that's the thing. The first half doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's how we win and finish this football game. I was just like, I'm like, bro, you just like we're hanging with the best team in the division. Like, at least show some up. He's just like, yeah, it is what it is.
No. And now we turn to the second game of Monday Night Football. This is disgusting. This
Jake
is
Browning.
terrible. For starters, I feel bad for Jake Browning because it's like, what are you supposed to do against a Brian Flores defense? I still feel bad for Jake Browning because it's like, what are you supposed to do against a Vance Joseph defense?
Especially this Broncos pass rush is just absolutely
At the same time,
nuclear.
I'm also looking at this going, what the fuck is my offense doing?
Yeah. Can Sean Payton close? Like, this is more of like, I feel the Broncos could win this game, but if you were to tell me the Bengals win on a field goal because the Broncos,
I would believe it. That's the thing. Like,
I believe it. Yeah.
All of today, like when I was like just doing things around the house, I'm anticipating us talking about this. I'm like, do I really feel comfortable? I hadn't even seen the lines yet, the money lines. But I was like, do I really feel confident taking the Broncos? Like, this offense is just anemic right now, and the problem is it's so predictable. Like, I can tell you what they're gonna do, and if I can tell you what they're gonna do, well, hey, Sean, Jesse Minter's gonna know what you're gonna do.
Look at
The defensive coordinator for the Colts knows what.
Now you know I felt with Joe Lombardi when he was the Chargers OC. It's very Joe Lombardi-esque.
But see, that's the thing. Joe Lombardi being the offensive coordinator for the Chargers was like because y'all had a defensive coordinator as a head coach. Yeah. This is a situation where Sean Payton is calling the plays.
With Joe Lombardi's help, yeah.
What?
With Joe Lombardi's help, yeah.
No, I understand that, but I mean, like, he's still the one calling the plays. It's not a defensive head coach who's like trusting Joe Lombardi to just do the call the plays. It's Sean Payton calling the fucking plays. He's the one with the sheet in his hand. He's the one getting into the arguments with Bo on the sidelines. And I'm like, dude, you can't do run, attempt a short pass. Or you can't do run, screen pass, attempt a short pass. Like, you got to push the ball down the field.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a question of he is going back to the old 2024 style of Broncos offense because Evan Engram isn't there. But even when Evan Engram was there in week 1 and week 2, they weren't really throwing to him. So what was the argument for having this joker if you're not going to, I don't know, joker? Mm-hmm. Like, if the whole thing of getting the joker was to watch Gotham burn, well then, buddy, I need to watch Gotham burn. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah.
With RJ Harvey, it's like you both Dobbins and Harvey seem to be running backs that need volume runs.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't
Dobbins especially. Dobbins works better.
You can't switch between the two of them. It's just it doesn't work like that. And it's a situation where those two throws to Marvin Mims against the Chargers, those were on Mims, which is wild because he's supposed to be the downfield guy and he's really good at it. But like the fact that he was like, and he just kept his eyes on the ball instead of turning, looking a couple more steps, pick up the speed, then turn and look back, he would have had one or both of those catches.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the other one where it was to Cortland, that's on Bo, but Bo also got hit during the throw.
Yeah.
Like it's slightly less on Bo, but it's still on Bo.
It was a good play call. I felt also too sudden. I felt sudden. Like I think Dante Jackson slowed him up a little bit, or like Sutton took too long on his double move to freeze Jackson, because if Sutton was just a little bit faster, he would have caught that one ball. Like it was close.
For want of 2 field goals, basically, you're now 1-2 in a division that's going to be a dogfight, but more importantly, in a conference that's going to be a dogfight. You could not afford to drop both of these games.
Chargers,
one of them maybe
in the division. I mean, Chargers are 3-0 in the division. I don't think it's a dogfight. I think it's Chargers. They won the division.
It could still easily be a dogfight. Maybe. I know that the Chargers have they've basically completed half the sweep.
Yeah, I love it.
The Chargers,
you know how nice that is that we just beat the division, or like the NFL gave us like the shittiest draw where it's a level
of comfortability. Like you're almost playing with house money.
Yeah, that's why if we lose to the Giants, I'm not upset because I'm like, we're still 3-0 against
the only way that this could be like more house money is if like I don't know the schedule off the top of my head, but like by the halfway point, if they've already played the Chiefs again.
No,
And they won.
we don't play the Chiefs until like week 12, I want to say.
Yeah, I know, because it's Denver is the week 18 game.
Yeah.
And
And
then
then by that point, you might be seeing Trey Lance.
I don't know about that one, buddy.
I
I don't know about that one, buddy.
I feel confident in that.
Oh, look at this guy. Look at this guy. He went from being like, guys, the Chargers are going to be good, but they're not going to be that good.
They're not that good.
All of a sudden, he's just like, this is the greatest team on God's green earth.
It's Jim Harbaugh, bro.
Oh, look at this bullshit. You got a week 12 bye, then it's week 13 Raiders, week 14 Eagles, week 15 at Chiefs.
Oh, wow.
Week 16 at Cowboys. That feels like a gimme potentially at this point. Week 17 Texans also feels like a gimme at this point. Though, I mean, you got to erase the ghosts.
What are the Chargers are like because if you look at all their beginning games, like there's a world where the Chargers only lose one game in this next stretch.
So the Colts?
Maybe, or the Steelers, because we always lose to Steelers.
Wait, hold on. Actually, the Vikings.
No, I feel confident against the Vikings.
Well, we shall see.
Jesse Minter will be like, hey Sean, how do I stop KOC's offense? Yeah, that motherfucker steals everything that I do, and he still gives me the credit. Doesn't give me any of the fucking credit. I'll tell you, Jesse. I'll tell you how to stop this fucking stupid offense.
You mean like that? So what happened was, because I'm just visualizing this. On one side of Rams House Stadium, you have Jesse Minter picking up the phone and calling Sean McVay.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of Rams House Stadium, you just have Sean McVay in his office, and he just lifts up the window and starts screaming across from the other side of the stadium.
Yeah, that's how you do it, man. Yeah, do it. Fuck it. The SoFi Stadium tour is pretty cool because like the Chargers, the visiting locker room is like very boring, but then like you go to the Chargers and Rams both have their own individual locker rooms and stuff.
Right.
And then it's just like it's like amazing how they both have their own locker rooms. I'm like, damn, and stuff. Nothing crazy. It's not like some of these college teams' locker rooms. But yeah, give me the Broncos. I think that pass rush isn't. Nick Bonito, poor Joe Alt. This guy was getting praised. I still think he's one of the greatest left tackles in the NFL, or greatest tackles, just period. And Nick Bonito just ate him for lunch on 2 plays in a row. Not two plays in particular, where I was just like, damn, Joe Alt, you got washed against Bonito and stuff. Like, but.
I think that's the other thing that annoyed me about the game, because it was like they got to Herbert. Like that was like you had to get to Herbert to.
You guys did amazing.
But you know what?
Herbert.
Shout out! Listen, all jokes aside,
QJ.
as I prepared to make another joke, all jokes aside, whatever Madison Beer is doing to that man, he takes the drop back. Najee Harris goes down with the NCI. And he just backward just hops over the fallen body of Najee Harris, looks up and goes, there's a receiver down there somewhere. And he just throws the ball. And I'm like, wait a minute. Because my thing was, I was like, why did he just hop? I was like, oh shit, Najee Harris went down. Okay. And my first thought is that sucks. My second thought is now there's less pass pro. Somebody sacked this man. And I'm waiting for the sack to happen, and then he just throws the ball, and I'm like, "This is some bullshit."
Yeah. Hey, you know which receiver has the highest QBR against Pat Surtain?
Quentin Johnson.
Yeah. Honestly, the Chargers' game plan against the Broncos defense was so genius. They just said, "Where the fuck is Riley Moss?" All right, we'll throw it to that.
That's basically all the strategies now for teams. It's like, where's Riley Moss?
It was extremely obvious because I was like, which 21? Oh, Riley Moss. Yeah, they were targeting that poor man. Like it was insane. Like how much they were targeting Riley Moss and stuff. Like, but Holofunga, that dude fucking is so annoying to play against. Like Holofunga is so good. Like he was so annoying to play against. Like it just like anytime I'm like, oh, that's gonna be a bit. There's this big ass Samoan just tackling my guy. I'm like, he was on that side. How did he get? Look, he's annoying. He's good though. He's good. Annoying in a good way. It's like it's more of like, dude, why is this guy on this? Why do we have to face this guy? He's so good.
But speaking of Samoans, speaking of sports,
Zach Wilson.
Well, I don't know if he popped into the backstage here with intent.
No,
but Maybe he did, maybe he didn't.
Oh, that's
No, because I saw you guys were live. I just got done on the wrestling channel, so I was like, let me just pop in here, see what you guys are talking about. Chase just babbling and stuff. I'm gonna download FanDuel and I'm gonna keep watching and I'm gonna make some bets based on your picks.
Well, I mean, we originally when we set up our futures,
especially mine.
Yeah, we set up our futures bets a few weeks ago. We put we were saying like you bet now, and then as this player does well, you can use this as a cash out to in essence get free money. And both of us put down Emeka Egbuka as a person to put down for offensive rookie of the year. And at the time, it was either plus 2,000 or plus 1,600. Now he is the odds-on favorite at plus 360. So if you have it at plus 2,000, you're like they're trying to get you to cash out now because they don't want to pay those odds. They'd much rather pay the plus 360. So there's still some value to be had if you are able to find it.
Look at this genius guys that we have talking about football on here. Yes, I don't have anything to add because I haven't watched any football. I still have to log into my sleeper account to try to get my fantasy team, but I don't even know what email it's under. It's crazy. I'll let you guys.
It's the one where WWE sends the checks for all of those Sports Illustrated mentions.
Yeah.
That Becky does.
Damn, I should really find out what that email is. I really need those checks. But yes, I can't add anything here. I just wanted to say hi, guys.
What's up?
You guys should always listen to Stat King and Chase. They know what the fuck they're talking about. Later, guys.
What were you talking about on the wrestling channel? I didn't see the stream. What was it today?
WWE NXT No Mercy.
Oh. That's this Saturday? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, literally, the person I just did the preview with said the same thing. It was like, I did not know until I watched last night that No Mercy was
Hey, the TNA invasion finally happened. It happened like 8 weeks too late, but it finally happened.
The worst invasion I've seen since someone tried to streak down the Super Bowl field. Like, fuck these guys. All right, later, guys.
Oh man, no, too many events. No mercy.
That's the theme. There's no mercy when it comes to all the events. But ladies and gentlemen, I think that brings us to a close for this week's episode. We think, after this week, we finally start having bye weeks, right? Yeah, week
Sadly.
4. So
those dreaded week 5 buys.
If you are a fantasy player, keep that in mind.
Gotta bench Jalen Hurts. Don't the Eagles have early bye? They're week 5. I thought they were one of the ones where I was like,
I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, I thought the Eagles were.
No, week 9.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
I mean, fairly early, but yeah. The Vikings are week 6. And I don't have anybody on this team that I'm looking. Oh, wait. Green Bay is week 5. Oh, boy.
Wow.
If you're Josh Jacobs. So, listen, there's this one redraft league that for whatever reason, every year, and it's been going on for, I think, 4 or 5 years, with the exception of 1 year where I came in 3rd. Every year I have come in 2nd.
Oh.
I don't know how. I don't know why. This year, I thought this could be a really good year to potentially win it. I had the 5th pick. I get CeeDee Lamb in the 1st round.
Yeah.
I don't know why this person falls, but they fall into the 2nd round. Now remember, because it's a snake and I'm 5th, all the way back to me, Malik Neighbors.
Oh.
I was like, okay, well, if this is what's happening, I'm gonna take Malik Neighbors. Maybe they knew something I didn't, but hopefully Jackson Dart is going to. So then in the 3rd round, maybe I'm reaching on a quarterback. Take Joe Burrow.
Oh.
In the 4th round, I'm like, this rookie has been shooting up the ranks, rookie running back, Travion Henderson.
No.
Round 5, I get Monty, who at least is saving me.
Yeah, Monty's not a bad call. Like, he's good to have.
I'm thinking, trying to zig where people are zagging. I'm thinking, this Cam Ward guy, he's got to throw to somebody. And they got a pretty good receiver there. I'm taking Calvin Ridley in the 6th. In the 7th, what happens? Tyrone Tracy. This is just terrible.
Oh my God.
Thank God, somehow, some way, I was able to get Tucker Kraft in the 10th round.
Nice.
Like that's and the other thing that I've been trying to do
he's not like respected yet. Like he's
not. He's not.
Yeah.
I'm in I think 3 or 4 redrafts. I think I either have in 3 of them I have Tucker Kraft, in 1 of them I have Jake Ferguson.
Oh, okay.
But this is ugly, man. Like I lost Burrow, losing CD for a couple weeks. I lost Tyrone Tracy, Malik Neighbors. Nothing is happening. Like hopefully Jackson Dart is going to be able to spark this a little bit. But man, it is a rough sledding there.
So we play. So I'm in this one league with my friends from high school. Me and my one friend, we're big fans of the TV show Survivor and stuff. So we made a Survivor league and stuff. So the way it works is just like Survivor and stuff like that. We have certain gimmicks and certain rules, but every year we vote someone out. But a lot of times I would win, and if you're the champion, you can't get voted out. So I would win this league a lot. So they've been trying to get me to get voted out. They finally got me voted out. Then they finally brought me back after 2 years. Like they needed me they missed the good old chase. I don't think they missed me, but they did it. But we have one player that's the hidden immunity idol, and I have this player on my bench. And
what does hidden immunity mean?
So and Survivor, the players they'll be on the beach doing like their little Survivor tasks, and then a player will find like an immunity idol, so which means they can't get voted out. But you can play this idol in many different ways. If you know like your best alliance mate's going to get voted out, you can go ahead and play the idol for them and then vote out someone that you think is a bigger target, or you can play it for yourself because you didn't win individual immunity. It's just like it gives you immunity from being voted out and stuff. Okay. So we have our own guy who's Jeff Probst. He doesn't play in the league at all. He's like our league manager. So like he shares with like the team with like the co-commissioner, but he doesn't play. He doesn't make any roster moves. He's just there so he can keep track of everything.
Sure.
So we have a hidden immunity idol, and I managed to crack who the player was, and now I have the player tucked in my roster. One Trey Tucker of the Raiders is the hidden immunity. My friends will watch. My friends will watch the show, so I can't get voted out this year.
So basically, if you have that player, you cannot get voted out.
You can play the idol for yourself or for someone else if you don't want that person to get voted out. But I know they're going to target me to get voted out because I'm undefeated right now. And
how did you figure out that it was Trey Tucker?
He gives out clues. So in Survivor, they will give out clues too. You'll find like a little parchment, be like, north of your camp, underneath your bed, there is something waiting for you, and then you have to be sneaky about it and stuff. So he gave out clue, like, so our Jeff Probst gave out clues, and you have to find out, and then you go to him saying, is this the hidden immunity idol and stuff, and then he'll tell you yes or no, but you can only go to him twice. So if you go to him a third time, you're banned from getting the hidden immunity idol, even if you have that player.
So what I'm saying? So what were the clues that allowed you to figure out that it was Trey Tucker? Because apparently you figured it out pretty quickly.
Yeah, he gave me the college. And he says this guy plays for the AFC West, and I was just like,
oh, that's cheating.
No, it's not. It's not cheating. These were clues that he gave to everyone.
No, I know, but I'm saying like cheating in the sense that like it's an advantage for you because if it was for me. We know the AFC West, so it's like we're gonna be able to figure that out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's not cheating; it's more like you had that leg up.
Because the thing was, he said because Trey Tucker played for Cincinnati. There's also a famous player that played for Cincinnati on the AFC West, Travis Kelce. Sure. Yeah. So I got Travis Kelce on my team just in case I thought he was the hidden idol. Because the guy just chooses random players. Like it could be it's not just like it could be a big time player. So I was just like, who else played for Cincinnati? There's actually a decent amount of players that played for Cincinnati offensively. I saw Trey Tucker just sitting on the waiver wire. I picked it up. So I was going to use my first guess. Is it Trey Tucker?
Okay.
And then if he said no, then I was going to be like, is it Travis Kelce? And then if he says yes, I have Kelce on my roster. I'm good. So Trey Tucker, I go, is it Trey Tucker? He goes, yes, congratulations, Chase. You have the hidden immunity idol. You cannot get voted out at the end of the season. You can also play it for anyone else if you so please.
So now the rest of the league does not know that you have
No, they don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. and they don't watch this. They don't watch. If they did watch it, they probably are not watching this portion.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
even if they did know, they can't vote me out. So like
Right.
they might as well just go vote someone else out. But then I'll try to dig and figure out who they're trying to vote out, so I can vote out who I want out of the league and stuff. Because I have a specific target, and I want him out of this league because he was targeting me for 3 years unjustly just because I was winning and you guys and stuff. So I want him out. So I'm trying to get my alliance to vote him out so we can bring someone in and stuff that's more healthier for this league and stuff. It gets very intense. Like we'll have tribal council every so often and stuff. And
Bring me in. I don't watch Survivor, but
and we do we'll do so like people go like, so what do you do? So like we'll do tribal council every once in a while for waiver wire standings because we find it so lazy if someone that is always like losing gets the waiver wire pickups because they're not like, are they actually trying, or they a floater in this game of Survivor and stuff like that. So we'll have tribal council and we'll vote who gets the number one waiver wire. So unlike in Survivor where you get voted out, we vote, and it's mostly in crucial periods and stuff. And then like also if you're the first seed, you can decide which playoff matchup you want. So you can go against like the person that you're like, oh, I could beat this guy in the first round and stuff like that. So there's advantages to it and stuff. And we just have one guy, he controls everything and stuff like that. Or we'll also have it where it's like chaos week. So like we'll do it where we'll be like, oh, this week only, we'll have it where the scoring is you get points for every pass attempt or something like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's fun. But I'm the reigning champ. Not the reigning champ. I was champ, and then I had a slip up. I got third place. I didn't have the hidden immunity idol. And I was trying my best to convince them that I did have the idol. And then my friend was like, no, I have the idol and stuff. And I'm not playing for Chase. I'm playing it for myself. I'm like, see this deception right here, guys? He's trying to trick you. And stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, it was like 1 vote Chase, 2 votes Chase, 3 votes. And I just left the call because I was pissed. And then they tried to call me back, but I want to come in. They didn't want to be there with all those petty people. And then they finally saw the senses, brought me back 2 years later, said, you know what, Chase? Welcome back to Survivor. And I said, the reigning 6-time champ finally is back. About that time.
Well, when you're not watching Survivor, let the people know where they can find you, I could say.
I haven't watched in years. I'm gonna watch I'm gonna watch Survivor 50 because all the old fucks are back, the people I know.
I think I watched like maybe the first an episode from the first season when it was originally airing.
Honestly, I always tell people if you haven't watched Survivor in a while, if you want like an older season that's really good, I think it's the best season. Heroes versus Villains. That's the best. They give you enough backstory on every of the Survivor players playing, so you know who's who and stuff. And then I think it's like one of the more crazier seasons that Survivor has had in quite some time. So I think it's the best one. And then Survivor 40, Winners at War. That one was really good because it's all winners and they play all good games and stuff. So I think that's a good one to watch too. I'm just watching 50 because I know it's like, oh, all my old favorite players are back. Let me see how washed they are in reality TV now and stuff. But you can follow me on X at ChaseLover68. Around the point whenever my schedule makes free, and here on True Heat Sports Entertainment, where it's True Picks, and as well with True Heat whenever SP3 needs a fill-in.
And you guys can always catch me here on True Elite Sports Entertainment, covering everything that happens in the world of football. From time to time, I do pop over onto the main channel and talk about wrestling, but I really don't watch that much wrestling anymore. So, to be honest with you, for example, there's no way I'm passing up the Broncos game for Monday Night Raw. So, it is what it is. But until next time, guys.
Oh, man, you're going to miss Rusev versus Dom for the IC title?
Yeah, I'm okay.
But the Usos, they're facing the Vision in a tornado tag match.
Yeah, and somehow there's going to be interference, and that's going to cause them to lose and shit.
You know, I always tell people when football season's on, I turn off my wrestling brain. Wrestling is I literally just watch
They just do dumb shit to get the Survivor Series.
I think it's both wrestling companies where they just kind of just do enough to like keep you interested, and then you say to yourself like you're like, oh, okay. Like I'm more of now PLE. I'll keep like wrestling becomes like I gotta do some chores. Well, I didn't watch Dynamite this week. Yeah, let me put it on. And then I'm doing the chores, and it's in the background, and I'll sit down if a match is good. Same with Raw. I don't watch SmackDown at all. Collision, I'll check out every so often and stuff. But during football season, wrestling is like the last thing I think about. I'm like, oh, Man, did you see though? John Cena finally realized he's John Cena and
He remembers.
Bully Triple H got us the AJ Styles match and Crown
Like,
Jewel.
honestly, I would prefer if he did another Punk match over an AJ match, only because in the past like 10 years, we've had a bunch of AJ Styles matches. We've only had the one Punk match, and that Punk match ended with the disqualification, the interference, all that kind of stuff, and John was working the heel shit.
Yeah.
As we saw in the SummerSlam match with Cody, he still can do the face stuff very, very well.
No, dude,
he can reach it. Like, I would much rather have that version of John and version of Punk and see what happens.
If you have a
AJ. Like, I've seen still at the height of his powers, Cena
John
versus AJ Styles. I don't need to see it again.
Yeah, if you have a VPN and you just get free time, whatever, you don't have to do it now, but whenever you get a chance, definitely go back to SmackDown when AJ Lee returns, John Cena and Sami Zayn. Holy shit, that was Cena tapping in. Like, he was it was so, and most of the good stuff happened during the commercial breaks. That's why I said you have to get a VPN and watch the SmackDown on Netflix, so you can see the stuff without the commercials. Oh my god, it's so good.
So, two questions, and maybe you might know.
Yeah.
One. So, like, for WrestlePalooza, you can only get it now on the ESPN thing. Like, even like let's say like 3 months from now, 4 months from now, you wanted to watch WrestlePalooza, it'll only be on the ESPN thing.
Yeah. So in America, no, it's so you pay for the subscription, or if you have your cable that's connected with ESPN that allows it, you get it for free on ESPN Unlimited right after. And stuff like that. Yeah, so that's only in America. But if you have a VPN and you go to Netflix internationally, you can watch it all on Netflix.
Follow-up question.
Yeah.
Let's say I wanted to watch Money in the Bank 2011. Where's that?
I don't know. I think it's still on Peacock, but I think they're trying to transition.
Move Peacock, that also to ESPN?
Yeah. Peacock has the WWE library still, so they have the WWE library until the end of this year. That's when the Peacock deal is done. So they still have the WWE library. So I don't know if WWE is trying to sell their library completely all to Netflix, or like if they have it, or they're trying to go on ESPN. It's so annoying.
I hate these guys for fucking doing this ESPN deal, because I appreciated just being able to pay $5 for Peacock and just have the entire library and everything.
I felt the ESPN deal. It was just WWE trying to like feel like they're legitimate and mainstream, when ESPN has not felt mainstream or legitimate for years. I wasn't a big fan of the deal. I wish they would have just transitioned all their PLEs to Netflix. In my opinion, that would have just made the most sense to me and stuff, especially with the Netflix interface, the amount of users on Netflix and stuff. It just, to me, it makes the most sense, especially since they have international deals where everything's on Netflix and stuff. Like, you might as well just go full in on this Netflix partnership. But of course, here in America, they like to spread their toes, make sure they have deals for everything. Blah, blah, blah. It's more like, I wish they just had their eggs in the Netflix basket at this point. But ESPN paid a boatload of money for them, so they're gonna take it. But yeah, I'm not fond of the ESPN.
I'm still intrigued by I'm still intrigued by the profit loss comparison between licensing these things to either Peacock, Netflix, ESPN, whoever, versus the old WWE network. Like, what was the profit margin difference between, like, what was the cost of upkeep for both the network itself, the servers, all that kind of stuff, to maintain that versus the cost of licensing it out? Because, like, you're keeping 100% of the profits here, but you do have higher overhead costs versus the licensing fee. Like, you don't have to worry about the overhead. You just have to make sure, like, they're on the ball when it comes to customer service and making sure all that shit works. And then you just keep whatever the difference is, but you're making less money. So I'm wondering, like, what was the trade-off? Like, how they obviously it made more money to do the distribution deals or do the licensing deals versus running their own shit. But, like, how, like, what was that thought process, or what was those calculations? I'd love to be able to.
I think the calculations were, it's just the WWE network wasn't getting enough subscribers. Like, that was it, because, like, the subscriber bit, because, like, I can tell you, I made a bunch of different fucking Gmail accounts and stuff just to get that free $1.99 for 6 months. Like, I didn't have to pay.
Like, you can make the argument that somebody else is doing that too with, like, ESPN or Peacock or Netflix.
Well, no, ESPN it's set at 30 and stuff, and you have to have a cable provider, so you can't they don't do those bullshit offers and stuff. And
No,
you
no,
can't
no.
do.
But I'm saying like you could do it if you do like the unlimited. They have a trial version.
Oh yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
you could do that, but like that's more annoying compared to like, oh, I just have to pay $1.99 every month compared to
Right,
like,
right.
like that's more of like you have to create an email almost every single time just to get that 1 month free trial compared to like, oh, you get 6 months for $1.99 and stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah, no, I think the network is just the subs weren't there. They weren't getting the thing. They weren't getting the following. Not like because at least with Peacock and stuff, someone's like a lapsed wrestling fan. They see WWE's on, and they're like, I haven't watched this in years. Oh, is that John Cena on the poster? That's their thinking. Like people, that's what they're doing with ESPN, where it's like they're thinking that these sports fans, and especially because WWE, not their current stars, I'm just talking about in general, has become more popular in mainstream and stuff. Like not to the point of the attitude, but what I'm saying is like you see people, I see it around, they'll be wearing vintage wrestling shirts. Like wrestling's kind of more cooler to say that you're a wrestling fan. It's not like embarrassing and stuff, but like when it comes to it, it's more of like, oh, like they're wearing still Stone Cold shirts. You're not seeing someone walk around with a Cody Rhodes t-shirt out in public unless like you can tell they're a wrestling fan. You mostly see like the bit. So I think they're trying to tap into like sports fans and a lot of the NFL, NBA players and stuff like that. They're huge wrestling fans and stuff. So it's just like they're trying to tap into that network with ESPN compared to Peacock, where it's like, look, I'm only on Peacock to watch Desperate Modern Family or whatever reality TV show that they have on Peacock. I'm watching Traders, buddy. I'm not here to watch anything else and stuff. And so, yeah, I just think
about it, I'm like, especially this is gonna make me sound like an old man, but I realized that Peacock lost Murder She Wrote, and I was like,
yeah,
okay, so first you lose WWE, now you lose Murder She Wrote. There's a good chance
Hallmark Plus, baby.
I don't need you guys anymore.
Yeah, no. Well, so for me, I'm someone that doesn't have cable at all.
Yeah,
at all. So I'm keeping Peacock mainly for the fact of the matter is that hey,
like
NFL, the NFL is on the NFL is on Peacock, so that's why I have it. Yeah, like I want
that's a good point. Yeah,
I want my Sunday Night Football. I like it. Like I have my streaming platforms for a reason. I mean, I know there's ways you get like when it comes to WWE, I VPN it. Like I think that's like the smartest route. VPN whatever you have, and just international Netflix it. I mean, Stephanie McMahon promotes it with Surfshark VPN. Use promo code Steph and you get 30% off your annual deal. So you get that. So like I think that's the best.
I'm gonna look into that to see if I can get a VPN on the TV.
Yeah, you just connect it to your Wi-Fi. You have to connect it to your router and the VPN. There's YouTube videos. You can watch YouTube videos how to connect your VPN to the router and stuff. Yeah, it's really simple. I thought it'd be super hard and stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's all you got. I have the VPN on my PS5, so like I can change. So like if I want to play a game early, I just change that I'm in New Zealand, and then I can play a game like matter. Yeah, no, I do that because like New Zealand, you get the New Zealand VPN, and then you're good to go and stuff. So, but it's really easy to do. Like, but it depends on your subscription level of the VPN if you can attach to multiple devices or if they device lock you on like certain things and stuff. But yeah, that's my suggestion. Like, I honestly the only reason why like I have ESPN Unlimited myself is because of the fact that Monday Night Football, all the NBA season, and the WWE and stuff like that. But if I wasn't a fan of NFL or NBA, I wouldn't even have ESPN Unlimited. I only have it for NBA and NFL mostly. It's mostly because I'm an NBA and NFL fan, and if I want the most experience, like I can't miss Monday Night Football and I can't miss the NBA season. So I want that access. Like so, I'll bite the bullet, but I also, I have my ways to convince ESPN to give me a discounted rate. So, but yeah, but if you're someone with a cable provider, you should have it. But if you're someone,
I have Sling, and they don't have the deal set up.
Yeah, that's why I tell people if you're a WWE or wrestling fan, and like you don't watch anything else, and that's all you watch, just VPN and Netflix it, and you're Gucci. You're good. You don't even have to you don't even need to have like a fancy ass VPN. You can just have like the basic free VPN and you'll be fine and stuff. But if you want to do like, I want to make sure it's on my big screen TV all the time. Yeah, you might have to pay a little bit for Surfshark VPN. Use promo code Steph, you get 30% off.
I mean, I could always just plug my HDMI cord into my computer and call it a day.
Yeah, some people are not that smart, John.
That's, I mean, I back in the day, and I still like doing it. Like, I just have a giant, I have an 12. I have a 12 terabyte external hard drive
Oh,
that
nice.
there's a crap ton of movies and all shows and all that kind of stuff on. So I'm well versed in plugging into the computer.
I'm gonna go watch State of Play. John is gonna go watch Pat Surtain's new podcast with Terrion Arnold, the Alabama.
Okay. I just want to say, I love the name of it. I don't know, like, I get that he's doing it with Terrion Arnold because I think they're both Bama.
Yeah, same draft class.
Right. But the name of it is amazing.
Yeah.
Close on Sundays.
I gotta see how, because Surtain wasn't really the most.
He's not. He doesn't seem like he's like that funny of a guy. Or
yeah.
During
because the Bama media, like, we always call him like the silent assassin. Like, you're not gonna get much. Terrion Arnold is a talker. Like, he was the one that talked.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, Surtain, like, he's just very much like leveled. Like, yeah, we just gotta trust the process.
Right.
And
yeah. Like, that's exactly what
we have to make sure that we all doing our jobs on the field. Like, we can't be making mistakes like that. Like, that was literally like Terry. That was literally Surtain. Like, anytime, like, they'd be like, Pat, tough game. How did it feel? Yeah, we just weren't in position, but we fixed that in practice. Coach Saban got us, and we didn't trust the process today, but we'll get the process tomorrow. And it was like, okay, cool, thanks, Pat. Terrion Arnold. Yeah, I had him locked up, but he just pushed me. It was crazy. Da da da. And he's like all talking all this shit. It's like, Jesus Christ, calm down.
I'm looking forward to getting Closed on Sundays merch. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
But
are you gonna get the Lions colors or the Broncos colors or both?
It's gonna be tough for me to decide. But
you got Alabama colors, built by Bama.
Well, I mean, hey, we got you and me Saturday.
You guys are gonna kill us. We're not competitive.
I think you guys are more competitive than you.
No.
It's not. See, the thing is, it's not necessarily that Bama is that competitive this year, because I know, like, ranked 17. It's more that Georgia is, like, not playing
to their standards,
to the standards of playing just Georgia. And I'm saying that as somebody who is a fan of Georgia for like 3 years or 2 years.
You're like
it's more along the lines of, like, you can see them playing against other teams, and it's like you're coming across more like you're playing to the level of the competition. So it's like, it's not that Bama isn't competitive. It's that Georgia is more than willing to play at Bama's level. So that makes you competitive for that game. So we shall see how all that works its way through. But until next time, guys, remember, take care of yourselves and each other. We will catch you all later, and hopefully the Denver Broncos will defeat the Bengals and the Chargers will defeat the Giants.
We probably will lose somehow. I know my team. East Coast, traveling, Jackson Dart, he's going to look good. Everyone's going to overhype Dart. And then watch the Saints kick his ass. Brandon Says, like, I got the code. I know how to do it. We just got to play assignment football.